Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 322. We got quite a bit of stuff to go over from this past week, and there's actually a lot of stuff about that happen in the next 24 hours or so. So we have actually a lot to go through here. Brought some people together from the typical cast. MVG said he'll be back next week. He's in an undisclosed location. I'm not sure where. Yeah, I don't know.
The carbon location.
I'm waiting for a picture of him to pop up on Twitter with Phil, but
yeah.
But let me go around here. We got Max, Dreamcast guy. How you doing, Max?
Good. Playing Diablo 4 right now, so life is good.
Nice. Let's see. We got OJ, Player Essence, holding up the pre-show.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on once again. Appreciate you guys coming through on the pre-show, whoever made it, and ready to talk video games, my boys and girls.
Video games. We have Sean, RGT85.
I got blocked by The Verge.
What? I'm actually, you know what? I'm be honest. I'm surprised it took this long.
What did you do? What did you say?
Yeah. What?
I trap Sean all the time.
John, John is a mischievous man. And what he does is he'll send me these tweets that he knows I can't resist responding to.
Yeah, like, people send me tweets all the time to try to just let me know about things for Newswave and stuff. I a lot of them don't make it into the show, obviously, because this one I sent to Sean. I was like, I'll pass that to Sean.
It's the women presentation thing, huh?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I don't know what to do with it. So what happened, Sean?
I just told him to shut the fuck up. Like, what's wrong with that?
And then they blocked you.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it goes.
RGB, retro gaming blocked.
I gotta be honest, that's actually pretty impressive how many companies have blocked you, Sean. Are you blocked by NASA, or did you block NASA?
I might be blocked by they kicked me out of their live stream. They did on YouTube.
When NASA saves us all because the Earth blows up, you're gonna be left on Earth.
This ain't saving no one.
Kick him out of the shuttle as it flies away into this wave.
You're definitely
getting Go ahead.
But I mean, at least I've got my emulators as he's fallen to his death.
Here's my thing. All right. And in retrospect, what I should have said was, how dare you say something like that? Because when those people came up on stage, I didn't see them present any sort of pronouns. So we're just assuming things that there was no women there. You don't know what these people identified as. There was like three fucking people on stage.
You're flying close to the sun here.
Hey, burn me, motherfucker, burn me. I'm just saying.
You got people being removed from Call of Duty for much less.
Hey, but now here's the thing.
You got people getting fired from their pitching jobs in the baseball. By the way,
I'm not on Call of Duty, and you can't.
I'm just saying, bro. You got
fire
people
me. Who's gonna fire me?
Absolutely bodied right now. You gotta be careful,
bring it.
Bro.
Hey, at least people will be talking. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I get Sean in trouble a lot online, so I just know he can't resist.
It's funny to me.
So yeah, it's that's the way it goes. We also have Evan here.
Yep.
Who has been playing Street Fighter a lot.
Yep.
So you keep complaining about that level 8 computer.
You find a character yet that you like?
No, I'm just playing the one that I'm good with until the ones I actually want to play come out. So
who's the character you're good with?
Kimberly. Because it's just Guy, and I kind of wanted Guy, but also...
Man, I'd really like to watch you stream the game if you can, Evan, but I know you're busy.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, and when you probably are free, Comcast, make sure you're not.
No, yeah.
So we do have the Summer Game Fest stuff to go over, which had some big reveals. We'll mostly jump to a lot of those and then just rifle through some of the other stuff that got revealed. But I have the entire list of stuff here as we were taking notes on Sean's stream as we were going through it. We do have Diablo 4. Since that's out, I figured, Max, you and I could talk about it for a few minutes there. And then we got the Xbox Showcase prediction, since that is tomorrow. And this seems like Microsoft's chance. So I think it's going to be a good show, and we'll talk about why exactly here. And tonight we do have a sponsor, that's Factor. I'll talk more about them at some point as I attempt to catch everyone off guard with the spot. Evan, we have a Discord question.
What on earth is going on with Aspire?
Oh, dude, no one knows. That, I don't know. Aspire is looking shaky right now, like real shaky.
I mean, to be fair, though, they've always been kind of weird.
But recently it's been like, oh, so they lose Knights of the Republic remake apparently behind the scenes. That goes to Saber, and
they should have never had that though.
Yeah, I think a lot of people looked at them with that and they're like, oh, really? They're gonna do that? Okay.
They're a port company, AA middleware stuff. Like that's what I would trust them with. Anything beyond that, it's like.
But then the problem comes up with Knights of the Republic 2, where they canceled the Switch DLC that they had sold the entire thing on in the first place.
Right.
That was, they might get hit with something like class action wise for that, because that feels like false advertisement. Yeah. So, and their way to make it up was to just basically give a game away rather than do refunds. And I feel like people were like, nah, I just want a refund.
I saw Mr. Maddie. Mr. Maddie's been doing a lot of talk about Star Wars. He's a way bigger Star Wars fan than I am. And I saw him just straight up being like, we bought it for that DLC that's just canceled. Wow.
Yeah. Not a lot of confidence with them now in the going forward. So we'll see what their next project is apparently. But Evan, you have another one?
If Konami remastered Metal Gear Solid 5 for current consoles, would you want Kiefer Sutherland to come back, or would you want him to be replaced with David Hayter?
Ask Sean.
What kind of question? Who asks this? They need to be blocked and removed from the Discord.
I mean, you have access to the Discord. You can make fun of them there.
Man. You and Kiefer, man.
I hate that man.
And you won't even come to too many games to say hi to David Hayter. You're sticking up for him all the time.
Because what if he's bitter about the situation?
Who?
See, that's why I can't give Kojima. First off, all these Kojima people, oh, Kojima's the best. Play Metal Gear Solid 4 again and just look at Akiba as a character and just God, stupid. But no, because Kojima wanted Kiefer. He didn't want David anymore. So I have to stick with Konami. What is Konami? Is Konami having voice lines re-recorded for Metal Gear Solid? The re-releases that are coming out? No, we have the original voice actor.
They use the original voice. They're use the original voices. Probably do some work to it to maybe make it sound a bit better. Because they'll probably have surround sound and other things that they'll incorporate into this. But I assume they'll just remaster the audio and stuff too.
Yeah, just make it a larger file. But no, I would not like Kiefer Sutherland, and I think it would be more enjoyable. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5 is a fine game in terms of gameplay, but the story, like,
they just need to give it an ending.
Yeah, there's no ending, and I just feel like main storyline wise, you were good with 4. 4 did everything it needed to do. It brought back people. It tied up all the other main line stuff. If you want to do offshoot stuff, like, that's fine, but I don't know. It never felt right. It still doesn't feel right to me.
I mean, 5's kind of still an offshoot because it's Venom Snake, and the story around that's kind of interesting because it's like not actually Snake. I don't know. That's interesting.
I like that. I think I don't hate Metal Gear Solid 3, but it's so different that it almost seems like it's supposed to be a spinoff that got a number on it.
Well, 3 is. I'm hoping 3 remake turns out to be really good.
Oh, 3,
I'm excited to go back to that one. I almost wanted to play it like when the remasters show up. I might play back through it again. We'll see, because I kind of want to get refreshed on it before the remake hits maybe next year.
I'm playing through 4 again right now.
Still holds up.
It really does. I mean, and when you upscale it via emulation, it looks even better.
That's the emulation king there.
No, I want to play the original though. I still have my copy of Twin Snakes, but I don't have a GameCube. But I have a GameCube emulator. So,
oh gosh,
I love Twin Snakes.
Let's somebody say GameCube.
Yeah, let's go over to we're gonna start with Summer Game Fest. Actually, we're gonna go through this. All right. Well, and like I said, we had some highlights here, and then there were a lot of games. But we'll kind of stop on the highlights, and I'll go through the others. And if I hit one that anyone wants to talk about for a minute, just let me know. We'll stop on it. But I counted 41 games that were shown here in roughly an hour and 45 minutes. So they did show off a lot of games. But we'll start from the top. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, 2D Metroidvania game. It is from the team that brought us the Rayman Legends, Rayman Origins, all that, right? Yeah. So there's talent there behind this game. January 18th, we'll see more at Ubisoft Forward in this week coming up. And this, I think, was one of the highlights of the show. This looks good.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
Yeah, I want to allow Sean though a second here to explain himself, because as we're watching this,
it didn't fit.
He's talking about the music, and then Sean was like kind of indirectly getting roasted on Twitter because of that.
I thought that it didn't fit. Just like, and I know a lot of people brought up, oh, well, Prince of Persia Warrior Within 2004 had a Godsmack song with it.
I Stand Alone, something like that, right?
Yeah, like Haggard's Stand Alone. Yeah. Here's the thing about that. We're talking about 20 years ago. We a lot of licensed music wasn't used in it. And B, I didn't like that song in that. I'm not a huge fan of like licensed music unless it just fits. And I just felt like that song wasn't necessarily a good fit. Like,
didn't they only use it when the demon chases you, and then everything else feels like kind of that Eastern vibe sound outside of it? So it's just like, you're like, this fits, this is good. Then also just you're like, what the fuck is this? And it's just out of nowhere.
Can I ask a question? What does it matter about the song that they use? Like, it's about the gameplay, right?
Yeah, but the trailer is your first impression of the game. If you watch a movie trailer and it has, it's a bunch of people killing people and Britney Spears is playing, it's kind of like, okay, this doesn't really match.
Well, and it's a tone piece. It's about setting the vibe. I enjoyed the trailer and I enjoyed the music, but I think when I first saw it, I was a bit confused. Rewatching it though, I definitely think that trailer grabbed me more. But whatever.
I saw some people mention the art direction or any. I mean, it's the Rayman. It's the Rayman team.
Yeah, it's like the Rayman Legends team.
Once I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, this could be really good then, because those Rayman games are very good. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, they're going to be doing this Metroidvania setup with Prince Persia. By the way, the story is obviously it's not dealing with the main character that we've seen in like Sans Time and stuff. It's an offshoot story where you are actually working to save a prince. So they basically have an original story that's going to play out here. So it still works into the lore and the kind of the quote unquote universe for Prince of Persia. But I like seeing this for a couple reasons. One, I think we need more 2D games from big publishers. I do. I think what we saw with Metroid Dread probably had influence on a lot of this stuff, but I think now more than ever, Ubisoft, and we'll talk about Sega soon, see the appeal in this. And the fact that we had Sands of Time rebooted, which costs a lot of money to do, like they're handing it off to Ubisoft Montreal, and they're a very talented studio. They would normally be doing Far Cry or something. Like, here's Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, make it good. And they're also doing a 2D Prince of Persia game. If you're a Prince of Persia fan right now, you should be really excited. I don't really get the down votes that I'm seeing with this.
I guess maybe because what Sean was saying with some of the music, and they want like Prince of Persia fans want like a big new Prince of Persia game, but clearly they're taking the time to make that one good. I don't know. I thought it looked good. They had like one boss battle looked like it was ripped straight from Metroid Dread.
I saw that with the big creature they're fighting.
Yeah, it looked like it's, but that's fine. Like clearly it's inspired by, and that's okay. Even some of the powers in the trailer, like the dash jumps and stuff like that, the level design, and that's fine because Metroid Dread is awesome. So this game, it looks like it's going to this is the most excited that I've been for a Ubisoft game probably in a while. Like I usually don't get excited for Ubisoft games. I'm not an Assassin's Creed guy. So this game actually looks really good. I was excited for Rayman Legends when that came out because that game's awesome. So this game made by those people. So I think this looks great. This is the most excited I've been for Ubisoft game, just because their games are just so Ubisoft.
I wondered.
I don't know.
Because some people are just also pushing back on the 2D side of things. They just don't.
That's the weird pushback.
They'd rather just have the big 3D game.
I don't understand.
Even got that too though. So yeah,
even if you don't like the trailer music, like that wasn't enough for me to be like, oh fuck this guy, I'm gonna go dislike the video trailer. Like that fucking threw me off guard. I mean, I gave it a like. I was like, this looks great. Okay, the song didn't fit in my opinion, but if somebody else thinks that it fit fine, okay, whatever, that's cool. It's not gonna deter me from, it's marketing. It's video game marketing. They're trying to reach a younger audience because Prince of Persia, and I did see some discourse with the fans saying that, we've been waiting so long for a new 3D one, and that's why we don't like that. And I'm just like, weird. Like,
yeah,
you can have a 2D and a 3D style game both being developed at the same time. Obviously, I think everyone here can agree a 2D game probably doesn't take quite as long as a 3D.
No, it
you know,
doesn't.
No, yeah,
like game. Like
Definitely
I
a
mean,
cost-efficient way to build up some money. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I thought it looked good, and I can't wait to play it.
If they were like, let's say this is like the next big game and this is what we're going forward with, and the 3D games aren't being made anymore, then okay, I can see where there's that. But it's not like they were like, oh, this game is taking the place. This is the new direction for Prince of. That wasn't it at all. It's just like we can still get Metroid Prime and also get Metroid Dread. We can still get Monster Hunter Rise and a new big like Monster Hunter World, like, or Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is an RPG, like a turn-based RPG, and you can still get regular Monster Hunter. Like, it's not either or. They got multiple teams, they got different people doing it. So Prince of Persia's been in a rough spot, man. Like they're trying to make it good. So rushing out some 3D game isn't going to make like the 2D game go away, or I don't get it. Like if they want to do this, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if it's a different team, you know?
Yeah, they have 2 games in development right now for Prince of Persia. That's incredible. I thought Ubisoft forgot about that
ever.
thing. I was like, oh, they have 2 in development. It's like, whoa, okay. And in fact, if you look at the timeline, Prince of Persia Remake was supposed to have already been out. Like we should be have already played and beaten that game. In fact, the trophies and achievements were live before they shut it down and pulled the game. It was that close coming out. So at this point, we should have the remake behind us. We should be looking forward to 2D. And then who knows, based on the success of these 2, maybe they would have then been like, all right, now let's start a new original one, or let's start remaking Warrior Within or something. So like we got a bit of a setback, but I do think Sans Time will be better for it. And I feel like this is just Ubisoft trying to go back and maybe make Prince of Persia relevant again. And I'm happy with it. I'm excited to see more about this game.
More games. That'd be great.
It seems like Ubisoft realized their bad reputation, and it seems like they've been focusing really hard of like, okay, let's actually do, like, I'll be honest, Assassin's Creed Mirage looks like my dream Assassin's Creed.
I will say that looks better. I agree.
Yeah.
I will say that looks a lot better than what they've done recently with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
I will say that.
It's so back to basics. So it's like, all right, now I'm like, all right, that actually gets me excited for a lot of Ubisoft stuff now. It's like, all right, let's see what a 2D, I mean, Prince of Persia started out as 2D. Let's see what you can do with that now.
Yeah, have you guys played the old school Prince of Persia? Have you?
I played
it was one of the first ones. Yeah, did I play?
No. The first one was Sands of Time. That was the 3D one. I don't know what this is. I don't know.
Got those pixel perfect jumps off the ledges.
This is 3D. I'm like,
I never played. There were those super early ones. I played the one on Dreamcast, and then I played Sands of Time, and I played like maybe 5 minutes of that ancient one. That's like
there's the
that's
DOS
the one I played, the ancient one.
The DOS one. Yeah, I've not played. I've seen pictures. That's crazy old.
I played that one. I hated it back then because
Yeah.
I was trash though. I was garbage. And then later, when I actually got like, I'm like, okay, I understand what they were going for, because that game was nuts at the time. It was incredible. The technology was great for what they were doing in the 80s, you know, or whatever the hell. So.
Yep. I do want to point out that this Prince of Persia game, the Lost Crown, will include parkour, platforming. Obviously, you see them jumping around, but also time elements involved as well. So I assume rewind, all that will be part of it, freezing time. So it seems like they're playing into a lot of what we saw with something like Sans Time. So exciting stuff. Mortal Kombat 1, full gameplay. Saw the ridiculous looking fatalities.
Oh my god!
The cameo fighters were in there. You have 2 different character select screens for them.
They didn't show any of the cool cameo fighters though. I mean, no, there were cool cameo fighters, but they didn't show like the ones that I was hoping for.
Oh, I see. I know what you mean. The ones that we heard the DLC.
Yeah, I was hoping they would show. That would have brought the house down if they did. I mean, they did bring the house, but that would have been nuts.
Yeah, it's I mean, it looks good. I mean, it still looks like Mortal Kombat. Sean mentioned that, but it looks good.
Like,
I don't know.
It made it seem like it was going to be like a dramatic departure, and it's like literally the same animation.
I feel like I do feel like, Sean, that people who are really into the competitive scene for Mortal Kombat probably saw the cameo fighter and just went through the roof and was like, oh my gosh, it's part of the combos and stuff now. And for us, we're like, I guess.
There are a lot of hardcore Mortal Kombat guys that I follow that are pointing out 5 million things with the combat that's different in terms of it. And look, when you add in assist characters, that competitive wise, that completely changes it. Juggle combos, all stuff like that. But for like, you know, us casual fans that are more casual Mortal Kombat fans, obviously it's going to look very similar. But you know.
And it looks like the timeline story stuff like that's changing. Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers now. Yeah. They did show Molina immediately, which is good because that was the whole thing with 11. So I'm looking forward to this one too. September.
Cool outfits.
That That was probably my second or third favorite game of the show. I'll be honest, that really impressed me. I thought that looked fun as hell. I like Mortal Kombat 11 a lot, but this just looks like 11-2, which is fine by me.
Still curious about the crypt or whatever they're going to do on that end, but gameplay wise, it looks solid. So I'm excited for it. Path of Exile 2 gameplay there. Find out more July 28th. I believe they have an event. Evan, I don't know if you're in a Path of Exile 2.
Nah, that's more of my buddies.
I am, but that's why it was so weird. They showed like 30 seconds of gameplay. That was so weird to me.
I think it's wanted to remind everyone, like, obviously it was them paying for a spot, and they're like, hey, July 28th, come see us. So Street Fighter 6 Exoprimal crossover, fall 2023. Ryu and Guile, mechanized, punching dinosaurs. I saw him punch a Triceratops in the face.
Top tier.
God. Boo.
Awesome.
All right. Hey, Exoprimal next month on Game Pass. I will download it.
Let me know how it is.
Nicolas Cage appeared on stage for some reason. He's doing Dead by Daylight, July 25th. He sounded sarcastic the entire time.
Why did his hair look brand new? His hair looked
I know. I when I was streaming it, everybody in my chat just kept spamming wig, and I was like, "Is it?" Everybody was just like, "Take off the wig, Keely. Yank his wig off." I was like,
brand spanking new, bro. That was the nice, fresh off the press.
They just skinned a raccoon in the parking lot and put it on him.
He was. He seemed like he was. I don't know. He's having fun on stage. So there you go. Nicolas Cage coming to Dead by Daylight.
His hair looked like 40 years younger than him. That was the craziest.
Sean, you might want to pick up Dead by Daylight, start figuring that one out since Friday the 13th is going away.
I've played Dead by Daylight before. I didn't like it, and then people fucking crucified me.
People came for you.
Yeah, they did. The game is not good. It's not as good as Friday the 13th. It's not. Period.
I agree. You know what? Hashtag Sean was right. Screw Dead by Daylight.
It's not. I don't understand why people just want to.
The player bases don't agree with you. I don't know.
You can still play.
You still play.
You can still play them all.
For a little bit.
You're not gonna be able to play. It's gonna be gone in a bit.
No, you can still play it.
I think it's the end of 2024 that Friday the 13th will go away. Like they'll shut servers.
Shutting it down.
Yeah, they're putting everything on discount now. It's like $5 for the game currently, I think is what they're gonna do. Let me go through 4 of these. Stop me if there's anything interesting. Witcher Netflix series trailer, season 3 coming up. Witchfire, September 20th, early access.
That looks good. I like that trailer.
Okay. Crossfire Sierra Squad, PSVR 2, August 2023. All right. Remnant 2, July 25th.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
People on Twitter have been telling me about Remnant 1, about like, and you said something about it, Evan, right? It's like
it has a terrible ending, but it was actually really fun until that point.
I thought you were playing that game a lot.
Okay.
I want to get into that. That game looks good.
Just a horrible ending. That was not great, but yeah, it was good otherwise.
Another good 2D game, or at least it looks good. We'll see how it controls. Sonic Superstars, fall 2023. Sounds like we don't have to wait too long, for 4 months or so maybe, for it to drop.
Actually excited for this one. It looks good. The physics are just like somebody lined it up like with the old school classic Sonic. The physics are very similar. With the, running like the loop and stuff like that. So like I think this looks great.
I saw a lot of people playing it at Summer Game Fest. They seem pretty happy with it. So different characters, Tails, Knuckles, Amy all shown off. Has that 2D, 3D, 2.5D kind of look. Apparently, because they've rendered the characters in 3D, they mentioned in interviews that they can do a lot more with it because it's not just 2D. So I feel like they're going to have Sonic and others running at the screen at times, doing all kinds of different things there. I saw at one point, I think Knuckles got hit and the ring, some of the rings actually flew at you on the screen. So they seem to be playing around with that a lot, but Sean, you mentioned Sonic Generations right away when it appeared. I kind of got Sonic 4 vibes a few times. So it seems like they've kind of gone down this road a few times with Sonic, but
I think there's a 5th character. If you look at the title screen, the way that they're positioned, it definitely looks like there's going to be someone right next to Tails, because Tails even kind of looks.
So do you want it to be Metal Sonic?
That would be cool.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it's going to be
the alligator
Shadow or the
okay. If it's Shadow,
so you have his guns.
Sonic.
No, or Silver.
No Shadow.
Not a motorcycle.
What Shadow?
Chris Chan is out of prison.
What's Shadow?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Shadow?
What's right with Shadow?
He's got a. I mean,
Shadow's a great character. He has hover shoes, bro. He has hover shoes. What do you want?
Well. And I also want to point out that while Sega is developing this, they got some help. They've enlisted the help of Arzest,
Yep.
who created Balan Wonderworld.
Oh no! What?
This,
who
ladies
the
and
main
gentlemen,
guy specifically pointed to as one of the core issues.
It's not their fault. It was the leadership's fault.
this is the redemption story of 2023 to keep an eye on.
They did Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser's Journey. They did Yoshi's New Island on the 3DS. We play Motion.
Yeah.
This is the I'm telling you, this is a redemption story right here of 2023.
Somebody did a really good Photoshop on Twitter of it shows the Sonic Superstars trailer playing, and then it like zooms out and there's a TV, and it shows like Yuji Naka watching from prison, and he goes, "That's my game."
Max, it seems like you're gonna like dissolve into your background at any moment.
I know. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm wearing purple on purple.
You're just gonna go just face.
Hey, Sonic Superstars. Looking forward to that, and it got announced pretty close to release. It's coming out in the fall, so we'll probably get the release date any time. I'm thinking maybe a nice October release for that one. That's a $60 game, right?
What?
I saw that Sonic. I saw that kind of surprised some people too. So it is discounted down from the 70 then, so it's not full price anymore.
I hate this future.
Then we had, let's see, Honkai Star Rail, PS5, Q4 2023. You never got into that, did you, Evan?
No.
Okay.
I fumbled the bag on that one.
Turn-based RPG,
Yeah,
high quality apparently.
It's a turn-based
good.
RPG, and everyone's complaining those are all going away, so it's the ideal time for it to come
Yeah.
out.
People say it's good too. People say it's very good.
Completely fumbled the bag. I was supposed to play.
Good job.
I know. I was dumb. I'm gonna try. I still emailed them like, "Hey man."
Lies of P, September 19th. Demo's available now. I downloaded the demo. I have not played it, unfortunately.
Same.
I wanted to play it.
Oh, you haven't
Not
played
get
it,
a
Max? What?
I didn't play it. My roommate played a lot of it in front of me though. And he's very good at Souls games. He actually mods Elden Ring a lot and stuff. And he said it was freaking great. He beat the whole demo in like one clean setting.
I've heard some good things. I just thought maybe I was going to hear your opinion on it, but no.
I wanted to. I'll be honest, I'm super addicted to Diablo. So I built a clan in Diablo 4, so I keep just playing with all my friends running dungeons.
I'm looking forward to it. It's September 19th. They're not too far away. It is on Game Pass day one, so people can check it out, see what they think when it drops. Sandland. This is actually Akira Toriyama involved in this one. Apparently, it's based on an older manga. I am not aware of the manga, but Unreal Engine 5, Akira Toriyama, kind of with some of the character designs. Sean was very excited. He heard
very
manga.
Excited. When I heard Akira Toriyama, I was like, "Wow, he's back."
Wow.
Didn't really go anywhere, but
wow.
In terms of gaming, he kind of left a little bit. A little bit.
When I saw that trailer, I was like, "Blue Dragon 2?"
Yeah.
I've never watched Sandland, so I don't know about the anime.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like if I was more familiar with the source material, I'd have been a lot more excited for it. But
it just seems so weird to at this point to bring that IP back at this point, like an Unreal Engine 5. I mean, I don't think that's cheap. So we'll see how it does.
Then we had, let's see, a couple of games actually go through. Throne and Liberty. It's from NCSoft, Amazon Games. Okay. Warhaven. It's from Nexon, fall 2023. Party Animals, September 20th, 2023. Sean remarked here that people were having fun.
Yeah, what the fuck was with that trailer?
I was taking notes on what you were doing at times too. I was like,
they showed all these Twitch streamers, like, "Oh my god, it's like, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, that was a weird trailer.
Sean
too.
doesn't like enjoyment.
Well, it's like
they weren't having that. They were getting paid to have fun.
No,
okay, let's be realistic.
But that's how Twitch streamers are, though, bro. Like, if
that's
you
why I don't
like,
fuck with it.
They always play those stupid like.
They're Twitch taking away your money. Oh, let me cry a little tear for you. No, thank you.
Oh gosh,
I'm just saying, like Twitch streamers, they like those type of games, where they can play with their like Fall Guys and stuff like that.
Hate Fall Guys. That game sucks.
My God.
Mind it. I'm just saying it's a Twitch streamer game, so they probably were legitimately having fun. Probably.
They were sitting in their mansions having a blast.
Didn't you at least play Among Us one time, Sean?
Among Us was fine. We had fun with that. We played it together. We streamed it, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
And everyone was like, "It was your fault." It
gives me anxiety, man. I had to stop playing that game. It gives me anxiety. I don't like lying, so but you gotta lie a lot in that game.
Crash Team Rumble, June 20th.
I played that game, and man, it's not good.
I feel like that's a game that's probably gonna get run over by Final Fantasy 16. I don't think anyone's really gonna. Hey, you know what? Maybe Crash fans will be all about it. I don't know.
Who asked for Crash Team Rumble? Not saying that you have to act like it. You know?
Someone at the company, apparently.
It costs money. Yeah.
It seems just so weird. Like, just the fact that that trailer was especially bad because they were talking about, like, get the season 1 battle pass characters. Like, don't talk about a battle pass for the game is out.
I'm good.
Alan Wake 2 gameplay, October 17th. I think it looks really good. People, really good impressions, by the way, coming out of Summer Game Fest for it as well. They're mentioning kind of a slower Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 kind of style, but it does have a lot more in way of like mystery detective work. Apparently you can even hit a button and it takes you to I don't know what they call it, like a spirit world or something, where you can try to put clues together and figure things out without being worried about getting attacked or something.
So the Mind Palace.
It does seem like there's a bit more involvement when it comes to, like, I don't say puzzle solving, but connecting the dots for the story itself. But they said you can play it as a standalone game. You don't have to be reliant on the first one, even though it is technically a sequel. And I think visually it looked really good, especially when that enemy like blew through the wall, like all the, the destruction, all the bits flying everywhere. It looked pretty impressive.
That's probably my game of the show, pretty much. Like, obviously Final Fantasy is a little bit above, but man, Alan Wake 2's gameplay, I think that game is going to be absolutely mind-blowing.
It looked good.
Looks good.
Warhammer Space Marine 2 gameplay. I feel like this is Evan's game.
Yeah, it looks cool. And
you liked the first one.
I was one of the many people who were into that in like a weird cult classic kind of situation. But it looks cool that it's a co-op. That's actually pretty big. That was a big
3 players. Co-op campaign, 3 players. Winter 2023. So should hopefully be out before December. It'd be nice if it just dropped in November and check it out there. But we'll keep up to date on this. Evan can try it out. Let us report back. See what he thinks. Yes, Your Grace, 2024. Okay. Toxic Commando, zombie horde shooter with vehicles, 2024.
That game, I was like, John Carpenter. Okay, this would be cool. And then they just were like, let's just make the most generic fucking game that we can think of. A team-based zombie horde shooter. Like, come on, dude.
It's Back 5 Blood.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, like you're watching.
Good. Might be good, guys. We gotta wait and see.
It's one of those been there. It feels like been there, done that kind of thing. Which when we reflect on this showcase, I think we'll come back to that. Baldur's Gate 3, August 31st. Evan, I assume you saw this.
I've been playing the early access stuff on PC. It's a good game. I can't wait for it to come out fully.
Okay. What are they promising for version 1? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Is there any? I would say, is that because you're already playing the game?
Story and then probably more classes. But yeah, they've been doing a lot of adapting how you talk to people, how you can use abilities and stuff like that. So me and my buddies are probably going to hit that up, probably in a co-op run through.
Spider-Man 2. This was kind of strange in the sense that they got the release date, not the Sony showcase.
That, if any, that actually kind of pissed me off, to be honest. Like, why was this not in the showcase? That showcase was kind of a dud. Sony kind of blew it. Like, why separate the release date? So stupid.
The only thing I think of is they're like, hey, we can market this game twice.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Or they held it over his head with a price tag. Like, we could reveal this, but how much would you pay us?
Or they legitimately don't have much else to show, so they're like, let's spread Spider-Man out between 2 shows. Like, if they had something else, they might have been like, okay, Spider-Man release date there in the showcase, and then we'll show off something else here. I kind of feel like Sony's just, I think they might be, all right, that's kind of it for now. We'll regroup in 2024 kind of for them.
Do y'all think that during that talk with the director, do you think that they were teasing Wolverine and Spider-Man? Because did you hear that? They said, Miles Morales is going to be fighting with Peter Parker, and they may be teaming up with other Marvel characters that live in New York. I think
the move is bringing in Daredevil.
You think
that's what you should do? I don't know if they will, because Daredevil's about to. I think they're going to be doing some more. There's like a series coming up for him and everything soon. So I think that's the way to go, because Spider-Man and Daredevil have had a lot of crossovers. So it seems like it would make sense just to test what, even having hints and teases towards like Matt Murdock or Daredevil in general, while Spider-Man's going around finding maybe, I don't know, like data logs or something about like the man without fear or anything
case
like that.
files or something.
Yeah, like you could do different things there just to test the waters. People like, would they actually bring in Daredevil? Would they do it?
It is. I feel like it's going to be Wolverine, just because not only are they working on that game, but in the comics, Wolverine does work together with Spider-Man fairly frequently. They at least cross paths. So I think it's.
What
there's
about
some basis for it.
licensing? Like
That's the problem. Since he is a big character, they might roll back on like Silver Sable like they did in the earlier
Who did the
games.
Daredevil VR game? I mean, that was.
Well, Daredevil, Marvel. I mean, that's Marvel, and like, they just go to Marvel. Like,
Yeah.
just, hey, we want these characters, I assume, and then they probably have to do a lot to make sure they don't interfere with their other information, they like the other sourcing and stuff they have, because obviously this is spread out across their entire Marvel Cinematic Universe and stuff. But I actually don't mind them keeping Spider-Man and Wolverine separate for now if they building up other characters and then do one game where they bring multiple characters together for some big event that's happening.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm just betting. I'm making the safe bet. I feel like it'd be there just because we know that game is in development and it would be cross marketing. But yeah, I hope it's something else would be more fun for sure.
Comes down from Canada.
Yeah, exactly. I just got here. Yeah.
Hey, Spider-Man.
The game is coming out October.
Australians? What's happening?
Hold on. Sean's making him talk like MVG. Like, hi guys, I'm Spider-Man. I'm Wolverine. Why am I doing it?
It is coming out October 20th, so I think it's a month later than people were expecting. But October 20th seems like a good time for it. I think that's solid. And they did mention that Venom is not Eddie Brock in this game. So it's
I wonder who it could be.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the character that they showed the entire back half of the original Spider-Man game.
Tobey Maguire.
I kind of think that's a red herring, by the way.
But there are a million audio logs saying who Venom is. If they debate us, it's gonna be.
I think that's a red herring. I think it's too easy. I think it is. I do. Because
do you see him?
No, because I think they're still going to be in it, but I think they're going to be in it as their other character.
What if it just ends up being Kraven?
I thought about that too. What if the symbiote gets on Kraven and that's the final boss you fight is Venom Kraven or some crazy thing?
I guess I don't know. I'm curious.
I think you will fight the character we're talking about right now, but it will be the normal the regular. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I think it'll be Green Goblin. Yeah. I think that's what's going to be. And then I think you'll still have Venom. So interesting. That's it is compelling, but that also sounds like something that'll probably leak early, and that'll be really annoying.
Some voice actor is just gonna be like, "Here's me playing Venom," and it's a picture of them in the sound booth.
Yeah. Then we had Pal World, described as Pokemon with guns. Although I don't think that's 100. I also saw rocket launchers in there too, and missile launchers and stuff. January 2024 early access. So there you go. Pikachu with an AK-47. You can check it out then.
Sounds good.
Black Desert Land of the Morning Light, June 14th. They had Lord of the Rings. Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis, June 8th, closed beta mobile game. So I wrote down mobile game.
What a waste of resources.
I mean, I'll be honest, I was excited about that until this new trailer when we saw like weird, like other characters. I don't know what that's going to be now. The original gameplay made it look like a 2D remake of all the old Final Fantasies, the old compilation, and now it looks really weird.
If this was PS5, it'd be lit. If this was PS5 or Switch and even PC, it'd be lit. But when you put it on mobile, you just completely ruin the hype.
I think they're going to come to console eventually. I think they even alluded to that. But the problem is that it's going to be free, and it sounds like we're going to like buy weapons. It sounds like you're going to like buy weapons.
You buy magic. You buy like certain characters and stuff. It's just you already know what they're going to do with mobile. Shout out to Square Enix. You know I love them. I love Square Enix. But you already know. Like as soon as you mention mobile, it just they've got to make money somehow because it's going to be free, right? It's going to be free to play. So they've got to do some way. Whereas we got Final Fantasy 16 coming out. They just showed Rebirth. It's like.
That feels like a game that they've basically designed for the mobile market in Japan, and they're also just happen to be putting it out globally as well.
It just that's the problem, man. But it's cool. It looks so good. You know, it looks good. Like when they go to the combat stuff, it looks great. But it just seems to be like, it is what it is, right?
I hate the costumes. It's so weird seeing like Tifa dressed as Genesis. Like, why do this? It's so weird.
Yeah. We had Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. That's 2023. Like a Dragon Gaiden, November 9th. So this is up Max's alley there.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Kiryu Kazuma coming back. New combat styles. That looks great. But today, did y'all see they confirmed this is a digital only game?
It is digital only, yeah. But I thought there was people were pointing out that on retail sites outside of the US, there were physical copies being listed.
Like an Asian physical copy.
Yeah, it might be that situation, but it's like globally, like worldwide, it sounds like this is going to be digital distribution mainly.
Yeah, their official statement was there will be no ESRB physical release, which is such a specific way of saying
they don't have to put it through a rating then.
You know what they did, man? They definitely, it's probably all the sales from like the games. People just downloading it digitally or Game Pass, people just aren't buying the game physical, and like you see like a Dragon, like it's discounted like a week after it comes out, like physical, like it's discounted so quickly, the Yakuza games. So I think
Alan Wake 2 digital, like a Dragon Gaiden digital. Matt Piscatella posted on Twitter that he believes that over the course of the next 2 years we'll see accelerated movement towards digital, and by 2028 we might not have physical games being released anymore.
I can see it.
I can see it kind of. It feels super weird. Do y'all just feel strange as guys who grew up buying cartridges and reading the instruction booklets in the car, and now we're just not even going to have physical at all? That just feels so weird to me.
Yeah, I've already been doing that. I'm fine.
Yeah, I'll say Evan's on board digital all day for that right now. He's good. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Max. For me, it is kind of strange.
It's weird. I immediately usually don't buy the game if there's no physical copy. Like I just don't get it. So one of these days I won't have anymore, but I'm gonna hold out as long as possible.
Yeah. Under the Waves, that's August 29th. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Season 4, June 14th, so this week. Then there was a Porsche commercial for some reason. Porsche. I don't know. There's a commercial for it, though, and they're giving away some really weird-looking Xboxes to go along with it. Fae Farm, September 8th. Marvel Snap, Conquest Mode. Let's go into it. King Arthur.
I just want to say that guy was definitely on cocaine. That guy,
the Marvel Snap.
He was screaming. It was bizarre.
He's excited. Marvel Snap.
It's like, I sell a card game on your phone. Oh my God.
He's making a lot. He's making a lot of money. That's true.
Yeah.
King Arthur: Legends of Rise, Wayfinder, early access this summer. Stellaris Nexus, Space Trash Scavenger.
I don't remember half of these games. I'll keep it.
I'm taking the notes. I got it. I even counted all this stuff.
I don't remember any of this stuff.
Star Trek Infinite. Okay. Then we have this is, everyone remembers this, the Twisted Metal TV spot.
Oh my God, the worst part of the show.
July 27th.
Did you like the Sean Cisco? I know Sean's man. Cisco
Sean was all about it.
Literally, nobody has mentioned that man in years. We talk about him Saturday night. All of a sudden, he's in the trailer.
This is your fault.
I couldn't help to think about you when I was like, yo, we talked about this. We just talked about Cisco. He's like doing backflips on the beach. Is he gonna be in the back of the trailer? Like, are you sure he's not there doing backflips and stuff?
I wish he was.
That was I don't know. This looks weird, this whole thing, because I picture Twisted Metal with cars. I get this is a part, obviously we're outside of the cars because they mentioned that. Still kind of strange.
Samoa Joe.
Papa Doc, he got punched and it looked so fake to the point to where I almost
Yeah,
it looked more fake than usual.
So this is going to be very campy,
Captain America, right? This guy's the new Captain America.
Yeah.
This is new Captain America. This guy, this punch looked super fake.
I mean, this
so weird.
This is going to be a very campy, not take itself seriously show, I assume.
Absolutely.
So, it's going to Peacock. There you go.
I love Twisted Metal's lore. Like, I'm sure we all, especially Twisted Metal Black, those super dark cutscenes. Like, we have a backstory for Sweet Tooth that's actually good. It's weird that they're just throwing everything in the garbage. Super weird to me.
Does that make you at all concerned for the game that's coming up? Like,
I guess
if they're going to take more of a campy approach to that, or you think that's going to be a dark, serious tone?
I mean, oh God, I hope they don't make like Zoomer Twisted Metal and it's super like, hey guys, get your Fortnite skins.
It'll be all chibi art.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Service.
What if Sweet Tooth starts flossing? Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Wait, I might actually play. No, I'm joking.
He gets out a fidget spinner and he's like, you kids racing some cars? Like, no, Sweet Tooth, no.
Oh man.
We had Liz Fanga. That's 2023. Immortals of Avian.
Was that the player with the 49ers? Who was that?
Liz. Oh no, Liz. I was trying to get Sean to tell me how to spell it. Remember that, Sean? Liz Fanga.
Yeah, I spelled it right.
You spelled it completely wrong.
No, I was close.
I like that game. Hold up, I like it.
There was a Y in there somewhere. Then we had Immortals of Avium. That's next month on the 20th. I will check this game out. I don't have high expectations for it, but it's just Doom with magic is what they describe it as. So.
You know, I found it was interesting. He was like, yeah, it's got like action-packed segments, like so action. And then I looked at there wasn't a lot of action. I mean, they were showing some stuff, but it wasn't as action-packed as he was describing it. But no, it seems like it's going to be okay, to be honest.
The worst part of that trailer to me was that they kept doing jump cuts where he'd like be approaching a platform and then it would jump cut and then he'd like punch somebody or a jump cut. It was like, I'd rather have 3 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay with slow parts than like trying to do this weird sloppy montage.
Try to force it to be more action or something like that. Yeah, that's what kind of made it weird. I was like, they're clearly jump cutting here.
Yeah,
so whatever.
It's very weird.
And we had Fortnite Wilds, Optimus Prime in there. The Fortnite fans, man, tough crowd.
Biggest game on the planet, and I don't know anybody who plays it.
Tough crowd. Okay, but then the big announcement at the end, right? Speaking of Final Fantasy, Factor has your back because if you're too busy with summer plans to cook but want to make sure you're eating well, with Factor you have fresh, never frozen meals delivered right to your door. These meals are ready in just 2 minutes. Cleanup is a breeze, giving you more time to go outside and enjoy nature. Or let's face it, probably stay inside and play video games. Choose from over 34 chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options. Round out your meals with an assortment of more than 45 add-ons, including apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, or bacon egg breakfast skillet and others. Using Factor makes it easier to budget each month, and with how many big-time games are releasing, we have to take control of our spending somewhere. Let's face it, Jordan. Okay. That $300 special edition that comes with the statue is basically a requirement at this point. Head to factormeals.com/Spawncast50 and use code Spawncast50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code Spawncast50 at factormeals.com/Spawncast50 to get 50% off your first box. Thanks to Factor for sponsoring tonight's podcast. Okay. Shout out to Jeff Keighley, by the way, for that segue. I really appreciate it. That was great, but did everyone get caught off guard on that with stream?
No, check this out. I actually said that it's a double fake out. That he has Final Fantasy and he did that on purpose. People were telling me, no, that's not. I'm like, no, there's gonna be Final Fantasy again here. He did that on purpose because he knew that the backlash would have been swift, would have been so swift on it. So I knew that he actually had something else. People were telling me that he did it, but I'm like, no, he has it. He has something else, Final Fantasy, and he delivered. So
I posted my reaction on Twitter because that was so funny to me. It just like I laughed that it was immediately like, oh no, when like speaking of Final Fantasy, the crowd's like, yay, and he was like, no. Something about Jeff Keighley trying to de-hype people was so funny to me.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was here though, and I mean it was kind of weird to me because 16 is right around the corner. You feel like that this is the big final push for it, and everyone's now looking at Rebirth because man, Rebirth looks good. It's they showed off kind of a larger open world sort of area. Again, I feel like it's just very wide areas. I don't want to say it's a big open world,
and I don't think it's even done. I think that is incomplete. The game still looked awesome, but I think that when we get the final product, it's going to look way better than what they even showed us, even though that looks good. But I don't think that's done. Like, I don't think that, like, the areas in terms of, like, what enemies are out there and stuff, I think they just really wanted to present something. So it looked a little bit empty, but obviously beautiful. But I think it's going to look a lot better when the game rolls out. They did the same thing with FF7 Remake. When they first showed FF7 Remake, it looked a lot better. After a bit, you can go back and look at the comparisons, like when they first showed it to compare it to the final product.
Red 13 is playable. They made sure to show that one.
That looked cool. Yeah.
The story looks very interesting right now.
Oh yeah.
I obviously this is a new path for him. Like it's gonna be very. But you even hear like Tifa talking about how she's starting to realize that Cloud wasn't there 5 years ago, and obviously they're going to start diving into his memories versus Zack. And I know Max, you did a whole video kind of going over some of the plot details that were revealed in this trailer.
Yeah, I did a breakdown because a lot of people the things that Sephiroth says, like it really seems like I honestly think the trailer is trying to trick us. A lot of deceptive editing because they like to do that. That's good marketing. But him implying that maybe Tifa died or something like that, and maybe implying more clones. They showed a Cloud clone in the trailer, which was confusing. So luckily, they released a book that sort of sets this up. They actually released a new Final Fantasy VII book called Two Pass.
Oh, awesome.
It's sort of
thick book.
It sets up. It is, but it's actually it's really good. It's them when they're walking.
Did Nomura write that?
Nima. I think it's the guy, one of the guy, the character writer for.
Okay.
But it's when they're walking to Calm, there's that big empty field in the original FF7. It's the story of they're walking and they're talking about growing up. It actually sets up a lot of events in Nibelheim and Chal. I think this is not mandatory reading, but I talked about it a lot in my video because I think they're sort of setting up Rebirth. I think it's going to be very different, though. I have a feeling they're going to go really off the rails.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what they do with this story right now. So, I mean, visually it looked really impressive. The combat looks great. It looks like like team up attacks almost going on.
Yeah, like dual
cool.
text.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Chrono Trigger dual text in there, you know?
I went to the Final Fantasy VII Reddit because I was curious, what people are thinking of it and everyone's fan theories. And the top post, I'm not even joking, said, FF7 Rebirth looks so good. I'm less hyped for Final Fantasy 16. I saw people straight up being like, 16 is going to be good, but I want 7 right now.
I think the problem is 16 is just, it's a new cast of characters. I don't know if people are completely sold on Clive in general because, again, it's new character, whereas 7, you got all of that nostalgia and lore and characters all built up into it, and it's like
it blasts you in the face. The nostalgia, like Cloud is just cooler than Cloud. Right, from what we know, Cloud is just way cooler. Tifa's way cooler. Red 13 is way cool. Like those characters, and like you have a party. You have like a real party that's with you, and it's like they don't.
And you play as them?
Yeah, you play as them, whereas FF16 is not that. It is more of like, you have certain characters that come in every now and then, but it seems more of like a, Devil May Cry, like trying to be like Final Fantasy a little bit more, where this is like Final Fantasy evolved, like going forward, right? So I think that's where the kind of the butting of heads, but you can't make the games exactly the same, right? If you're going to have 2 games. So, I mean.
I honestly feel like a big part of this marketing for FF7 Rebirth, and we talked about this, remember when Remake Part 1 came out a couple years ago, John, we did like videos pitching our theories and stuff on the ending and stuff. I think that a lot of the marketing of Rebirth right now is what the hell, like the mystery. Whereas let's face it, with 16, there isn't mystery. Like the game's good, but it's a new story with a new universe and new characters. In a weird way, we're so confused by Rebirth, we have to buy it.
So let's be real for a minute here. We're going into this game coming out early 2024. They told us that, right? Also on 2 Blu-ray discs.
2 discaroos, baby.
Now the
PS1 days.
Now the PS4 game did come with 2 Blu-rays as well, but these are 2 Ultra HD Blu-rays. So this game is 150, 160, 100. It's like Jedi Survivor size, basically.
They charge $100 for this game, like standard. The standard edition is like 100.
Yeah, but Jedi Survivor made you download part of the game. They didn't try to fit it on like multiple discs. So I do like that they are going that path. I think it's great. Let's be real. This is a trilogy, right? There's 3 of these. This is the second one. Typically, the second one ends in tragedy or kind of a down point. Then usually you have the third one to be like the big moment where the heroes prevail and all this stuff. Typically. So who dies in this one?
I mean, I think it's going to be the same person.
Who do they wipe out here? Let's be real.
Spoilers.
Who are you going to spoil the game next to, John? You big spoiler.
Can we talk? Yeah.
You big spoiler.
I think we could talk about Aerith dying safely, right? It's been 26 years.
Spoiler.
26 years.
Bro, I had someone freak out on my comments today because I said I finally finished Tears of the Kingdom. The last form of Ganondorf was neat. And that was a spoiler. They were like, I can't believe you just spoiled the ending of the game.
You just brought that spoiler here.
That is a little bit of a spoiler. That's a little bit of a spoiler.
That Ganondorf is the final character?
No, you said multiple forms. That's a little bit of the spoiler. Little bit. I said little bit. I didn't say it's outright. I just said it's a little bit. I said little. It is.
So on the topic of Rebirth, I think Aerith is still going to die, but I think they're going to I think the whispers are gone. I think they're going to do a lot more with fate, and I think I do think they're going to try and really imply that Tifa's going to die. I think they're going to like debate us.
Really? Let's get real for a minute. You got to kill Cloud.
No.
Well, so that's what one of the original fan theories was.
I
that,
saw that. That's what I saw that.
That Cloud would die, and then they would do the Chrono Trigger thing where Zack's going to step in and you have to like rebuild him in time.
And then they somehow bring Cloud back anyway, and then they fuse at the end and win.
Yeah, they do the
dance finger.
Yeah.
Fuse at the end and win.
I'm not super against that theory, but I think a lot of people are not. I've noticed a lot of fans are not thrilled about the idea of Zack being in this game because from the new trailer, it seems to imply that it is one timeline and that Zack is in Midgar alive right now as they're leaving Midgar.
Oh, see, I thought they were doing like the thing where it's two different timelines, but they're kind of still aware. And I feel like Nomura is just going crazy right now with this whole thing. Well, I feel like he has an ending that he likes, and he's just trying to get there somehow.
The weirdest part of that trailer that I legitimately have no idea, and I watched videos, I can't figure it out, is the weird part at the beginning, the news report that shows the destroyed Midgar, and we see burnt up Barrett.
Well, I thought there was two timelines in Zack's timeline. They all died, I thought, right?
Yeah.
Like they're all dead. And in the other timeline, they're alive, and that's where they passed each other and stuff. They kind of played that up. I thought, and I feel like they're eventually going to come together somehow. I think that's how it's working.
That's what's got to be, but it's still so we have no idea. We're all
it's very
spitballing.
Yeah, but Nomura's off he's off in left field right now. Who knows what's going to happen? But it's I'm here for it. I'm excited to see the next chapter in this whole thing.
Everybody's going to be required to read all of the now canon Final Fantasy VII books. All of them.
Oh, they're really gonna turn Final Fantasy VII into some like Kingdom Hearts like lore. We gotta have like the big poster board out with lines going everywhere. And
in my video, I pulled up a chart where I had to talk about quantum mechanics in multiple realities, where like it shows this timeline broke, so the original timeline merged with it.
It's gonna be interesting.
Nomura's like, yeah, you guys are just morons. That's the problem. Y'all just stupid.
Yeah,
they're leaving this one off on a cliffhanger. Obviously, Rebirth. So it's getting a cliffhanger, and then we'll get whatever the next one is. I mean, it's remake, Rebirth, and then what do you think the next one?
100%, and I'm probably wrong, but I think the final one's going to be called Revenge. I originally thought it would be called Reunion, but that's what they called Crisis Core.
I think maybe like Redemption.
Yeah, or Revival.
Oh, Revival's a good one.
It's going to ship on 7 PlayStation 5 discs.
Hey, by then we'll be all digital.
They gamefly to you. They send you 1 disc a month. Gamefly.
You said they're going to be all digital by then? They're going to send us a hard drive with the game. It's going to come with a hard, like a literal like FF7 Revenge hard drive. You just take out your hard drive, you put in the new one, play the game.
That was Summer Game Fest, though. Any overall thoughts on this show compared to Jeff Keighley's previous outings?
Pretty good.
I made a video I called it I mostly hated Summer Games Fest because I just thought a lot of that filler was really boring to me personally.
Mostly hated. I love that title.
I feel like if I'm grading on a curve for Jeff with his other shows, I think it's one of his better shows. Grading on a curve.
You need to grade on a curve on this one. You need to grade on a
for
curve.
him. Because I feel like if you go back and you look at some really good E3s, which is kind of what this is getting compared to right now, or E3s, because this is like kind of all we have now. Next to obviously we have like Xbox Showcase coming up and others, but this is supposed to, I think, stand next to it. Then it's kind of rough. Then you're like,
E3 destroys this.
Yeah.
Most Nintendo Directs destroy this, but you can't really compare it to those. Like you just gotta.
But I can.
But I will.
but I did.
For him trying to ramp this up. I mean, I feel like it's definitely better than last year. So he's on the upswing. You know,
this is the slowest character progression ever, though.
Yeah, well, he's getting there. He got the live audience involved, I guess, and so
it's like, hey guys, I just made my mustache. Like, what else should I?
Teltiverse says, yeah, RGT spoiled Zelda for me today, so I headed straight to Ganondorf. Oh, okay, you're only doing 2 temples so far.
Ganondorf's in the game.
Spoiled Zeldaverse.
I don't care.
Also, if you go back and look at that trailer, by the way, they spoiled a lot of those tears. I'm just gonna say that now.
Well, stop it, John.
You're
spoiling the game, John.
I'm just saying there were some parts in that trailer. I'm like, oh, this is like. I went back and watched it again after beating the game. I'm like, This is like the ending they're showing people right here, but it's out of context, so they don't know. It's interesting.
Not as bad as Final Fantasy's final trailers.
Oh yeah, no, not that. Like there was one scene where I'm like, dude, this is like there's 5 minutes left in the game, and I saw this in the trailer.
It's Sephiroth being like, now that I've killed everyone.
Yeah. Whoa. Evan, do we have Discord questions? I will pull up the super chats.
What's everyone's favorite genre of music?
Oh, this is a good one.
Melodic death metal and
whatever Prince of Persia's soundtrack was.
Podcast.
Whatever Prince of Persia's soundtrack is.
John's straight podcast.
At the Gates, Amorphous.
That's an individual song.
No, At the Gates is a band. Amorphous is a band.
Okay.
I'm like a huge
genre?
fan of.
You got the genre and subgenre.
That's Swedish melodic death metal.
Hell yeah.
No,
you gotta hit up Insomnium, bro.
I like everything except
the Prince of Persia song.
Country can burn in hell.
Yeah.
What? I love country. That's my favorite. That's my favorite music.
Real country I'll listen to. Pop country.
No, it can all burn in hell.
I'm a huge fan of country music. I like Garth Brooks. He's like my favorite.
I listen to a lot of like indie pop punk stuff. My two favorite bands right now, I just went to a concert and it was a great show. It's a band called Grandson and a lady named Kay Flay. Like if you listen to their music, that's exactly my vibe.
You have another one, Evan?
Who would you like to see make a return in Mortal Kombat 1?
Oh, what do I like to return?
Smoke, Reptile, Cyrax.
I mean, Reptile's the obvious one because I want to see what he looks like. Goro was a cameo fighter. I like the idea of Reptile because I want to see, do they have just Ninja Reptile as the main and then they have like Creature Reptile as the cameo? Or because that's the big thing about the cameo fighters. They're going all over the different Mortal Kombat, like years of it, you know, that the different versions and stuff. Like, could we get a Sub-Zero from the Sub-Zero mythology game and stuff like that?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
There's just like 10 different Sub-Zeros to pick from.
Well, they said that there's going to be, didn't they say that there was going to be multiple versions of characters as the cameo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's, I mean, I like to see Reptile to just see what he looks like, or like Ermac or something. But I'm partial to like all the different ninjas that they came up with. So, you have another one, Evan?
Is Persona 3 Reload coming to Switch, or is Atlas pulling an Atlas?
The word is it is coming to Switch.
It was leaked. It's coming to PS5, Switch, Xbox. It's coming to everything.
Atlas figured out how to make money.
Atlas has been making multi-platform. I don't know how people saying pulling Atlas. Persona 3, 4, and 5 all last year multi-platform.
We gotta see Persona 6. We gotta see what that is first.
Well, that might not be, but eventually it'll be multi-platform. Like eventually it'll come to everything.
I gotta see if they go for it though. They're like,
I can see them doing PlayStation 5 at first and then bringing it over to other platforms later. But Atlas has been doing multi-plat. You know, SMT3 that was multi-plat except for Xbox, but that was multi-plat. So they've been Persona 5 Strikers, that was multi-plat. So.
You have another one, Evan?
When one of these big developers or publishers are acquired, where does that money actually go?
When they buy a company, right? So let's say they hand over billions of dollars. Obviously, they have to buy out for public-facing companies the shares. I'm curious. For Bethesda, I assume there were quite a few people at the top who got paid because that was not public. That was a privately held company.
I think that's what I heard was the guys at the top were just like,
assume a lot. The people at the top got a lot of money, and they're like,
thanks, bye.
Then I know with the public offerings and stuff, there's a lot of hands that the money has to go through. So the private companies are a bit more straightforward, to my understanding. Where yes, certain people get paid a lot of money at the top. Let me go to the super chats here. Cody says, heard a rumor that a Crimson Skies remake will be at the Xbox event. Should they remaster the first game, or High Road to Revenge, the sequel? Ooh, I like the idea of Crimson Skies coming back as a remake for like an online game. I think that'd be fun. I don't even know if you need a campaign for it necessarily if you build it out for like a multiplayer style. I think that'd be cool. I'd like to see them revive it. Don't know if they will. It'd be fun. Zoob says, is Sean hyped for a Corgi's Cozy Hike?
No.
Oh.
Someone should buy him that game and gift it to him or something. It'd be great.
I won't play it. I have no obligation to.
Don't subscribe to Game Pass, says Alan Wake 2 and now Like a Dragon Gaiden. Screw this all digital future we're heading towards. And I hate Microsoft for starting this with Game Pass and pushing digital. They've been you've missing the digital push for a long time.
Yes, that's
going for a long time.
That's an interesting point, though, that I guess I want to put to the panel. Do y'all think that Game Pass is accelerating the all digital future?
I think just subscription services in general are like they all have them now. So I am seeing that more and more. Like if I go to a GameStop around here, dude, their used section is looking sad right now. There's just not a lot there. And back in the day, I mean, if I go back, 10 years leading up to when the PS4 and the Xbox One were coming out, if you remember Xbox One, obviously, big digital push, there were games everywhere. Oh my gosh, we were stickering games constantly. We had too many a few times. Now it's just, I don't think people trade in like that anymore because they're subscribing to a service as soon as they get a system because there's so many games there right away.
Yeah, it's definitely helping to accelerate the all digital future. That's for sure.
Also, think about if you're a parent and your kids get this system and you don't want to go to a store or buy them games. You just look, I'm just going to buy you the subscription service and just leave me alone for the next year. It's $100.
Even like
it's all there.
PSN cards, so easy to just buy PSN cards on Amazon or Xbox Live points or eShop points. Hell, even Nintendo's like 50-50 at this point, like 60-40 or 50-50. So
I mean, technically you could subscribe to NSO and you have like N64, Super Nintendo, like there's a lot of stuff just there immediately too. But
I have a lot of friends whose kids are like 10 to 15, and a lot of them have said they just subscribe their kid to Game Pass and then they just buy the kid Roblox cards because they like Roblox a lot. And then it's like that way they never have access to my credit card. They can never buy anything. I just buy a year of Game Pass and then Roblox cards. And it's like, if you want a game, you either get it from there or you get it from there and you're done.
Roblox. I bought my daughter many of those.
Man, I wish we had these subscription services when I was a kid. Man, that just sounds pretty
we
good.
did. It was just you had to just physically go. You had to just physically go and get it.
But think about it, though. You hit a few buttons, boom, you got it. Like that's it. And the library is ridiculous for this.
Yeah.
If you're a kid and now we see a lot of the younger generation coming up and they don't care about the physical games.
Well, it's also interesting. Kids don't have that scarcity that we had of like getting 2 games a year. Now kids get 5, 6, 10 games.
Overwhelmed almost now. Yeah.
That's why I don't like when they be complaining. Like that kids should never complain about a damn thing. They got a lot of stuff.
Kids
man.
these days,
Game Pass got all sorts of stuff.
We would go to the store and it was like you have 2 shots a year at picking something good.
Yeah.
So if you come home with something bad, you're in trouble. You're gonna master that game for the next 6 months.
You're in big trouble if you came home with something bad. Whereas now it's like there's so many good free to play games and it's just stuff all over the place. It's ridiculous. And just cheap games like the indie games are just nuts. Like you can like Hollow Knight, stuff like that. And man, it's wild.
Lewis says, "Hi guys, I just bought Street Fighter 6 for PC. It's my first ever fighting game, and I wanted to know what's better to get started getting used to, controller or mouse and keyboard. What do you got, Evan?
Mouse and keyboard for a fighting game.
Whatever you actually pick, just stick with it. That's literally all it is. Once you get the muscle memory down for whatever you're holding.
Well, the arcade.
I'm using the Mixbox, so it has directional keys instead of a stick, and I've gotten really used to that. But whatever, just pick it, stick with it. And that's it.
Okay.
I think the main thing is keyboard and mouse. I don't know, or just keyboard specifically, isn't like tournament legal. So
I think for the tournaments and stuff, specifically their Evo, I know that's PlayStation now. So I would assume probably something like a PlayStation controller. If you're going to go there, you either use that or a fight stick, right?
Yeah, you'd want to use a controller or fight stick or something.
So I would probably get a DualSense then.
Roll there with the mouse and keyboard to Evo.
Roll with the mouse and keyboard. Go in there with the keyboard that like the mouse is wrapped around and like walk in with that. You're
gonna walk in with the Dreamcast keyboard specifically and all the dongles to make it compatible.
If I saw somebody with the mouse and keyboard at a Street Fighter, I'd pick it up and hit him over the head with it.
Right? I play a lot of Street Fighter 6 with controller, and I think it feels really, really good just on a standard PS5 controller. So if you're even practicing with that, you have everything you need.
Controller, even though people make fun of it, controller has historically in fighting games felt really good depending on which one you have. So there have been people in like top 5s who they play on controller throughout all of the fighting game history.
Jeff says, I'm not certain what exactly the Wholesome Game show is, but it sounds like something RGT should watch next time he loses a bet.
It was today.
And then don't subscribe to Game Pass, says RGT. You missed the Wholesome Direct this morning.
I watched the first fucking thing was some fucking game where you have a cat and you make the cat tea. Who is buying this game? Who
You're
is
selling
playing
it to
this
me.
game? Like fucking A, dude.
Fine it.
AJ says if we don't see Pragmata at Capcom's event on Monday, is it safe to assume it's canceled? We haven't heard a word about it since the PS5 reveal. No, I don't think it's canceled, but I feel like Capcom's just holding that game until it's like, hey, it's out in 8 months or something. So I don't even know what it is. No idea what they were showing us. So we'll see. Capcom Showcase up this week, but I see expectations are low for that event. So
What RE4 DLC? Show me separate ways, and I'm happy.
there you go. Don't subscribe to Game Pass says, John, do a poll to prove Xbots don't buy games at all. I can't wait to actually own P5 Tactics and P3 Reload, unlike the port beg Xbots that don't buy games.
Well, I mean, you could just look at data. It shows that. Like, look at a game that's multi-platform.
Not a bootlicker says some weeks it feels like Saturday Spawncast are like 3 days apart. Time is flying, so live healthy, find peace, and make memories with your friends.
Bootlicker? What was that gentleman's name? Not a
bootlicker, yeah.
Not a bootlicker. God.
Good Morning Studio says, anyone hyped for Budokai Tenkaichi 4? I am.
No.
Where that Sandland had me going for a second. Yeah, Budokai Tenkaichi 4. I am excited. I have no idea when we're going to see more about it, though.
I'm looking forward to seeing what it's going to be. Like
It was they mentioned it was like it's still early in development, so it's going to be a couple years, but I'm excited for it. Yeah, absolutely. Jeffrey, no message here, but shout out to Jeffrey Shushman. Shout out. Metro says, can or when will Microsoft buy Mistwalker? They're probably not going to.
If they didn't buy them back then, they're not going to buy them now.
Cristobal says Summer Game Fest was a B for me. Interesting that Venom will not be Eddie Brock. Too bad Activision dropped Nick Merck's Call of Duty bundle. Travis says Metroidvania is a fun genre for me. I'll try Prince of Persia. You should. Well, hold on. We got to see it at Ubisoft Forward. All right, let's see what we're dealing with first. Dark says 7 Rebirth world being open zoned, and if you get the airship at the end, I am quite curious how the flying will work in the world and skies and landing. Yeah, that sounds like something you would save to the end and be like, here's the airship, now go wherever you want. That'd be kind of cool.
With the flying car in 15.
Yeah. Lowe says, John, you got to check out the game porting toolkit Apple put out this week. Folks have been getting Cyberpunk running on M1, M2 Max completely playable with one command. It's the new Proton-like tool for running PC games on Mac. I saw that. Thought it was very interesting for game developers, but it turns out just people are doing it. Like, hey, you can just drop it in there. There's a few command lines and boom, games will be basically translated over to run unoptimized on Apple silicone. So yeah, I actually kind of want to check that out just to see if I can get random games running that aren't supposed to be on Mac, because Apple's M1 is very interesting. If you get like one of the Mac minis that are like $600 or $700, I'm going to do a video checking out the Apple Arcade because it's quietly really good, which is strange. But yeah, I kind of want to see what I can do with that tool. Zbat says, a quick question for Jordan. Do you feel pressured at all now that RGC is pushing into the movie market on YouTube?
Yeah, you know, Spyro and
that's about Spyro. There we go.
It's like he's still here.
Good Morning Studio says, what y'all think about Final Fantasy X remake rumors? I'm cool with it being like 7 and changing up a bunch, but hope 9 is just a glow up like Demon Souls.
The 10 remake is the weirdest to me. Like I have replayed Final Fantasy X multiple times in the last like 5 years, and the game is still so complete. I don't know. I just don't really understand a 10 remake. Like a 9 remake, there is a lot you could do. The original 9 obviously doesn't even have voice acting, but the original 10 still looks and plays great. I mean, it could be better. Obviously, it's a PS2 game. But yeah. I'm very confused by the 10 remake rumors.
I think we'll know more when we see Final Fantasy IX remake, because we're trying to picture what it looks like, and it's not going to be on the scale of 7 remake. It's just going to be more of a, hey, we're going to make this game look better and be more modernized. And I think when we see 9, we'll get an idea of, okay, 10 could look kind of like this then, or it'll get this kind of a jump, because the word is 10, or at least the early rumor is it would come out 2026 because that would be the 25th anniversary for that game. 25 years since it came out.
I'm ancient.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous to think about. But I think I like 10. That'd be fun to see it get a bit of a remake there. Well, could be cool. And then Zero, no message, but shout out to Zero. John Wheeler says Nick Cage should be a killer in Dead by Daylight, not a survivor. Sean, don't worry. I played Dead by Daylight every day and don't like it just like everyone else who plays it. Drew says, do you think we should be worried at the amount of games Saber Interactive is working on? Seems like they are working on a lot at once. They do seem like they're working on a lot, but they also run support on a lot of games, and Saber is actually pretty large. They have quite a few developers, so I feel like they're okay, but they are definitely getting tapped for, I think, projects they weren't expecting, like Nut Steel Republic remake. So we'll see. Let's talk about Diablo 4, Max.
Hell yeah.
Spent a little bit of time on that one. I've been playing it for a bit. I actually played a little bit with Nate last night too. Got him to jump on and played some of that just to see what he thought of it as he was going through. He got up to like level 12 or 13 or something in the time we just ran a few dungeons. Like, let's run it through. I'm almost level 31. I've been playing it on and off when I get time. But what do you think so far about it, Max? You've been in this for a bit now. You got like the guild going on. You're like end game territory right now.
Yeah, I have 130 hours in it so far. I'm actually doing some Tree of Whispers grinding right now. I love the story. I love all the class balance. I love the PvP. The end game, though, is so big. I actually think some people are going to get overwhelmed by it. Like at the end, the grind, it starts to become very MMO-like. Once you beat the game and you have the whole map, then you start having to like worry about your reputation in all the towns. Since there's a level scaling, so at any time every enemy is around your level. I'm playing on difficulty 3 of 4 now, called Torment, and everywhere I go, it makes every enemy I encounter is like 4 or 5 levels above me. Then there's all these things called nightmare dungeons where you do like random dungeons with random affixes, random things that make you feel harder and stuff. It's just so deep, and I love it. And I'm trying to do everything, but it's just so crazy deep, and I'm impressed by it. But additionally, I am almost like, man, it is crazy how different this is. This is an MMORPG Diablo, and it does great.
Like yep. It's also very. I don't know if this is me. I feel like Diablo 3 wasn't this dark. This game is just always like dark and raining, and I'm not in love necessarily with the aesthetic and all that for it, but the game is very, very addictive. I do like the gameplay for it. I'm not a huge fan of the level scaling necessarily. Some people like it. I'm like, I mean, I'd like to feel like I'm progressing if I go back to an early portion. I just wipe out all the enemies, but I guess the idea is you'll build your character through customizing and upgrading your armor and weapons and all this, and you do feel that as you go through that. And the skill tree, I don't know, visually it looks a little weird to me too. I don't know if that's just me, the way it looks, but
it's very weird.
It takes a little more time just to go through it and read everything, but I mean, it is a game you can play. You can literally watch a movie or something next to it. You can listen to a podcast. You can hang out with some friends and chat while you're going through it. It's a game that's pretty easy to pick up and play, but there's just so much going on. Like I'm playing a rogue, and I'm trying to decide if I want to be a rogue that dodges a lot or one that is more in line with trying to do area effects to slow everyone down so that the DPS and tank can kind of handle the mob that I'm trying to control, or if I just want to be a DPS myself and go in there with fast strikes and crits and all this. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out even my build, but you can refund the points. Like I was pressing X, I think it is for me on the Xbox, and it would just, you can do that the whole time. Like you can just keep refunding your points if you want.
Yeah. I think that's the best part about it, is that the different builds, there's 5 classes, but each of the classes has like 5 main ways to play it. Like if you're a druid, there's pet druid that'll have like a pack of werewolves wandering with you. You could be a bear druid, a nature druid. I'm actually playing a necromancer, and for a long time I was doing minion mancer, just had like a whole army of zombies, but now I'm doing what's called blight mancer. So I have a bunch of shadow abilities that chain proc. It keeps actually making it so like My shadow damage will stun. It will stack on top of each other. Every couple hits, it'll actually detonate again. It's like the game, it has that really fun progression that I feel like Diablo 3 never quite hit, where your character feels much deeper and customizable. Whereas Diablo 3 was fun. I didn't like Diablo 3's cartoony art style. It felt very World of Warcrafty. I'm glad they went dark again.
Okay. Yeah, I see that comparison with like World of Warcraft kind of. I just feel like the visuals are better than they first appear, and if there was just an area that I would go to and it'd be daytime, I think it would show it off better. I don't know, it just feels like so much of the detail in the world is lost because it's just always midnight. Or it's raining or something. I don't know. It's just something I noticed. I'm like,
have you seen some of those? The cutscenes are the best that Blizzard has ever done, which is truly.
The cutscenes are very good. Yes,
Blizzard is good at cutscenes. They have outdone themselves. They are insane.
Cutscenes are like top tier stuff. Yes, even the opening one that you see, you're like, okay, wow, this is like high quality stuff. So. I mean, I like it. It's definitely something if you run with a large group of people, you're going to have a good time. And it seems like it's just takes forever to beat this game, like actually beat it. Hardcore mode, I don't even want to attempt that. Good luck to the people out there who will. That looks, there's too much other stuff for me to get to try to conquer hardcore mode.
I'm doing a hardcore. I'm so obsessed with the death equals delete. There's the hardcore community already is just making so many memes where when you die, people are actually making hardcore shirts now that say go again, because as soon as you die, it's tradition to just immediately remake your character. Like, I'm loving hardcore.
I think I'm gonna play this till Final Fantasy 16 comes out, and then I'm on to 16. That's my plan.
I think this is going to be my forever game. They're already talking about season 1. They're already talking about all the changes and tweaks, and I want this to be my like casual game I grind on for the next couple of years.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, Diablo 4, it's out now. Pretty fun. It's a game that'll take a while, so I think your money's worth for it. Do we have Discord question over there, Evan?
Considering this year we had a Mario movie without a mention of a Mario game, can we safely assume the next Nintendo console will launch with a 3D Mario?
I feel like that or the new Mario Kart is a great way to launch the system, but you got to have that consistent lineup. So you got to go like good launch game, couple months later another good game, and then end of the year another good game.
You will be getting both, sir.
There you go. Hey, you get 3D Mario and you get Mario Kart in the same year. That system's gonna fly off store shelves. They probably won't be able to make enough of them.
You'll be getting both. It's actually happened before. Happened with the 3DS. New Mario Kart, new 3D Mario, same system. Literally like right next to each other.
There you go. That'll do it. I remember the 3DS was a little slow out the gate. All of a sudden they got some of those going, and
they got Mario Kart and they got 3D Mario, and it completely and price drop completely changed everything.
There it goes. Yep. So yeah, I
think the Ambassadors program.
Yeah, Super Nintendo games. I think they'll
GBA games.
At
the time, it was still kind of a fresh concept.
I think we'll get that lineup together. So, or hey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Plus. That'll work too.
Another deluxe, super deluxe.
Super deluxe.
Super deluxe. Oh God.
You have another Discord question, Evan?
This one's not really a question. It was just a statement based on last week's, because he was asking why every companies keep making more games as a service games, despite them not all working out and such, or if they have one of the games as a service games that works, why do they make more? And he's just saying that gaming gravy trains factually have an exceedingly bigger history of losing publishers money than making money. Single player games as a product are a much safer investment. And I guess that's just a statement. And then all I can think of is Kingdoms of Amalur. And I'm just like, all right.
These companies they all think they can do it better. And they all want to just take a shot at a Fortnite. And they'll do it over and over again until they either hit or they go out of business. That's really it. It'll keep going. It's the service's future. Let's see. Xbox Showcase.
Hell yeah.
Tomorrow, 1 in the afternoon Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific? Yes, 10 a.m. Pacific. And this is now, I see people online saying our last hope for this year in E3 stuff. It's like, it's very dramatic online. I'm seeing this. And I feel like Sony's showcase, most people look at it and go, it wasn't great. Summer Game Fest, better than Sony. Didn't blow the doors off the place. They're like, all right, this is incredible. is Xbox going to do it? That's the question now, because it seems like they're set up for it. Like everyone's looking at them like, hey, you know what? They show up with gameplay for some of these titles. They have some first party stuff there, some third party stuff that we already know about. I mean, Persona 3 Reload and Persona 5 Tactica being there. We already know about it, but it's still going to be big to have that revealed on their stage. Another Persona game, by the way, is out there somewhere, allegedly.
Another one.
Party game. Heard Mario Party brought up.
I thought it was going to be another fighting game, but I guess it's not that either.
Apparently, it's a party game.
Hey,
that gets me more interested. I don't like the Persona dancing all night. I don't like any of those. But a party game, I'd play a party game.
I don't know if it's going to be shown tomorrow, but that might be something they show next year, and it comes out kind of like Tactica. It's going to be revealed, and then it's coming out this fall, for example. But I mean, you have that. Fable, by the way, has been teased up, down, left, right. I'll tell you now, I believe it's there with gameplay tomorrow, or in engine at least. Forza, Starfield, Avowed. Those are all the games that people are expecting to see there, minimum. That sounds like they're kind of building a pretty solid showcase. I'm expecting at minimum 30 games to be here.
Oof. I mean,
to me, it's about the updates, about the games that they've already announced. Like, that's what it's about, this show. I mean, if they obviously you want to announce new games, cool, but you got to show us what you already announced 3 years ago. So if they show Fable, Avowed, cool. You got Persona. Huh?
Perfect Dark.
Yeah, Perfect Dark. Show us that, and I'm good. That's all they really need to do for me. Like, I know some people saying, "Oh, third party stuff." That's great, but they need to give us updates on what makes the system the system. You know, not what I can probably play maybe with haptics and better on my PS5 or whatever the case is. So, like, I want to see what's built for Xbox and what you already announced 3 years ago. You know, like that's what I want to see. So I hope they bring us updates to that. Which I think they will. I think Fable's going to be there. I think Avowed's going to be there. I think hope maybe Perfect Dark's going to be there. I don't know about that, but we'll see.
I'm going to be streaming it tomorrow, but I got to admit, I'm super, super excited. I just want to see gameplay and release dates. As long as we see gameplay for Fable, it's going to be a winning conference to me. If we get a Forza release date, which one of the leaks claims it's coming out in October. If we get a release date, like that's all I want. Seriously, just tell us why we should keep Game Pass. You know, that's all I want. And Starfield, if Starfield even looks halfway decent, I am going to consider this a huge W. For
Interesting
Xbox.
You bring this up, Max. Matt Pescatella noted on Twitter that growth of video game subscription spending has stalled. He says, according to Circana's Games Market Dynamics reporting, 2% higher than April 2022. So they need to start pushing Game Pass a bit. Seems like everything's lined up. This should be it right here. So we have Starfield in September, reportedly Forza in October. Do they have something for November? Or are they just going to make this big push for the holiday? They're like, we got something else. Do they show Hellblade 2 here and it comes out in November?
No.
The thing, Jez Corden said that he has seen something related. I think we're going to see Hellblade gameplay, and I bet it's going to be gorgeous and great, but he thinks it's going to land like January, February
I can see that.
2024.
First half 2024. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see Hellblade 2 as well here. So
that's a good show. If they give us release dates for those, or release windows, release dates, that'll be a good show. I
think Hellblade 2 will probably just have 2024 at the end, you know, as like, hey, this, that sort of thing, right? But Forza which Forza comes out, it's always rated really, really well. And this one, Turn 10's been working on it for a long time. I mean, Forza Motorsport 7, it's been so long that game was delisted. Like, it's been forever since that game came out. Sean had to buy a physical version of it to play it.
I did.
Yeah, it is a good game. It's very good track simulator. I still look at the Forza series as above Gran Turismo, just in overall quality and everything. So I'm expecting big things here from Turn 10 with this game, and I might have to get the wheel for it. Sean keeps telling me it's time. I might have to get the wheel. You know, I might have to roll with that. So
you gotta get the full like pod you can get into.
If I can fit it, I don't know. Maybe I might. I don't know. If I put that in the living room, I might get some looks.
Yeah,
I get in trouble.
Wife not going to be happy. Where did I put the baby?
Simulating driving a real car, but I'm not driving a real car when it's a video game car.
It's like, why aren't you driving to get groceries?
Imagine.
It's just joke that drive your real car, John. Take the kids while you're at it too. They want some ice cream.
No, my kids would probably destroy that thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really worried about. Not how it looks, is like it'll get destroyed. Although they spend the time decorating and stuff, and then I roll in there with my caged like wheel and set and everything. That's a big release. That along with Starfield, of course, and I kind of feel like Starfield. Man, expectations are high for this game. It's got to have a good showing too, and that's following up the presentation.
It'll be good enough.
Yeah,
it'll be good. It'll be just good enough. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be just good enough. It'll be, because it's big game. It's Bethesda, so it'll be just good enough, and I think it'll be fine when it comes out. Not gonna be perfect, but it'll be fine. It'll be fun.
So if this showcase is really good, we just forget about Redfall, right? That was like another life. Like we just completely forget about that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
their
fine.
goal.
No big deal. No big deal. No, because Hype by Rush, Redfall, balance each other out. It's even.
Dude,
Okay,
do
there you
they?
go. There you go.
Do they? I mean, I don't know. You don't think
Evening it out.
no? It doesn't even it out.
I mean, I'll be honest, I saved a screenshot that said Redfall is the lowest rated game ever on Steam or something like that. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's going to take a lot to outdo that.
Okay.
Do we have any any wild predictions that would be here?
No. I
have
learned my lesson making wild predictions for Xbox shows. No way.
I mean,
I
you can
have
throw it
one.
out there. No one's expecting it to happen, but if it does, you look like a genius.
Okay, fine. Lost Odyssey 2.
There it is.
Throw out a completely insane one, Sean, and I have a completely insane one.
All right, this one's mine.
Okay.
That's
New
good.
Spyro
Okay.
game?
Spyro.
Okay. New
What?
Spyro game.
There have been
Oh,
two
Sean,
pretty
okay.
concrete leaks talking about Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered and the Final Fantasy IX Remake, and it seems like the Final Fantasy IX Remake is set to be revealed soon. What if that's there? I'm actually going to be really thrilled.
9 remake. Yeah, I like it.
I would consider it to be a huge get because it would stop all those conversations of people saying like, oh my God, Square Enix hates Xbox. And yes, I'm one of those people saying that. And yes, I've made a couple videos saying that, but it would shut me up.
I mean, they've had ties with them for Game Pass where they got all the Final Fantasies on there. That would be a big one too. And I mean, I know they did stuff with Atlas, obviously, but for them to get those kind of reveals from Atlas and Sega is big, to have that there. It's
You mean like the big amount of money that exchanged hands? Yes.
Yeah, that's the
hey,
big
man,
amount. Yeah.
it's all money. Hey, you know what? Microsoft fights with their advantage. They
It's like, hey, you
That's what
guys
they gotta
want Persona? Like, we're not gonna make it for your system, but if you give us money, we will.
Hey,
All right, sure.
to Microsoft, it's fine. I mean, if they're collecting Game Pass money like they say they are with revenue, gotta spend it.
It's fine. I just found it hilarious. It's like,
And-
oh yeah, it's big if they get those. Yeah, if they give them the big money bag, they'll get it. Hell yeah, they'll get it.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Gotta make the deal. Gotta make the deal.
No problem. No problem at all.
I
mean,
like the idea of 9. I mean, I just want to see what 9 remake looks like, just so I can gauge what 10 could potentially look like in 3 years, apparently. Let's see. I have 2. Maybe Sega shows up and does a teaser for the new Jet Set Radio game that's currently in development.
That would be huge.
Blue Dragon game. New Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon. 3.
Dragon? I don't think
Blue
this
Dragon 3.
generation doesn't know anything about Blue Dragon.
I don't give a damn. I do. Blue Dragon 3, Lost Odyssey 2.
They don't know anything about it.
The bluer dragon.
Oh no, I have actually 2 other ones too.
The bluest dragon.
The bluest, yeah, red dragon.
All right, if we're reviving, quote unquote, some of these old franchises, it's time to revive the current franchise. We need Halo Infinite's Tatanka, whatever that game mode is from Certain Affinity. Need it revealed. If it's Battle Royale, that's fine. Let's see it.
Is it fine?
It's been 3. They've been developing this thing reportedly for 3 years now. Whatever this game mode is, it's time to show it.
I got another one. We're doing more crazy predictions. Xbox gets their own version of Smash Brothers, but with Xbox characters. They
could pull that off with Rare and stuff.
Master Chief and
It's just like 10 different
Master
Spartans.
Chief. There we go.
Yeah.
They got more than Master Chief. I'm just joking.
There's been that rumor that that Xbox has some sort of streaming only console, like a set box that just streams, like a Game Pass thing. Y'all heard about that, right?
Yeah, Phil Spencer has it in the back of his. It's in his backdrop.
Yeah. Do y'all think that they'd show something like that at E3? Or sorry, at their conference?
That'd be a little. I don't know. That seems like something you want to put out with Xbox Newswire, so you can explain it very quickly as well next to it. Because
yeah,
they're gonna look at it like, I don't what is this? But if it comes out in a post and there's a bunch of information that follows it, like, hey, this is basically an Android device that looks like an Xbox system, and it also will stream Netflix and stuff too. And then people, okay. So I feel like they probably want to also have a bunch of information, but you never know. They could do that. I also wondered if they'd announce an acquisition here as well, but that seems like a bad idea since they're fighting for Activision right now.
Yeah. Has anybody ever announced an acquisition at like a press conference thing like this? I don't. Yeah. I've never heard of that.
Microsoft, their one last thing back at XO was them buying 3 studios.
Oh,
that's where they announced like Obsidian and like all this stuff. So no takers on New Vegas 2.
That's too good to be true.
Just Avowed. We'll settle for Avowed. Okay. So they can iron out 2023, set up 2024 with Avowed and Hellblade 2. And then the way you kick off the whole thing is it has the circle transition where it like opens up, and it's a new Banjo-Kazooie game, and MVG immediately gets unbanned on Reddit.
Fuck MVG.
Immediately is allowed back on Reddit. It's like John Cena walking on the Raw with the belt and everything. Yeah.
All the Xbox fans are like, we don't care about Banjo-Kazooie.
Hey, I care.
That Stephen A meme. We don't care. We don't care.
We don't care. Yeah.
I know. But hey, you know what? I care.
I know. I kind of care.
I want to care.
Check it out.
Yeah, that's my thought. Is that I want it to exist, and then I'll care. But right now, I don't have any hope.
So I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here with them. Indiana Jones, for example, could show up. We heard about that a while ago from Machine Games. Haven't seen anything about it. It feels like they could just pick and choose from a long list of stuff they've told us about and could expand on. So
have they been talking about for years now? Are they showed off years ago? Yeah, it's like I said, just updates. Give us some updates.
Everything's set up for them. So yes. I really hope that they deliver here. And I mentioned I figured 2023 is when they start getting rolling a bit here going into 24. This seems like the time to start.
This is it.
Get the snowball rolling. Push it.
They need to get the console sales rolling a little bit more too as well. So
true.
This is going to help. They need to get the Game Pass sales rolling. They need to get the console sales rolling. I
didn't ask. Do you guys think they close with Fable then? Like, obviously, Starfield is after this. What do you close their main show with?
Whatever looks the most impressive, you close with it. Whatever is the most impressive, looking at what you're ready to show. So if that's Avowed, then you close with Avowed. If that's Fable, you close with Fable. Whatever looks the best.
Well, if we're saying Hellblade 2 gameplay is there, maybe that's the closure since it's supposed to look visually stunning.
Didn't they close with that once before? That's the only reason. I think they're going to open with Fable. I think they're opening with Fable.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, opening with Fable. Yeah, usually open with like a good, nice hitter to get people excited. Okay. So yeah, like Fable could open.
I kind of feel like you could close with something that's not in the immediate future, but it's like further out as like one more day. This is something we're working on down the road. It's coming.
Yeah,
maybe Gear 6.
Well, so here's the weird one. And I'm actually pretty certain that they're going to do something like this. I think because the weirdness that's this Xbox Showcase leads straight into the Starfield Direct, I feel like they're not going to do the biggest, craziest one more thing because Starfield's the one more thing. So I think what they may do is they can come out and say like, hey, Starfield's about to come out. That's great. It's going to be good. We're about to show you like in 30 minutes, an hour of that. But also be aware, we are still working on Elder Scrolls 6 and they show us more than a fucking logo.
They're not going to show us more than a logo.
It's the same logo, but just like
it's the other side of the mountain they showed off.
I think Xbox is going to have a good show tomorrow, so I will be streaming it. OJ is going to be streaming it. Max is going to be streaming it. I think Sean's going to be joining me on my stream. I'm trying to poke Nate to get him to just join because he hasn't been around for a while. So I'm trying to set some stuff up there, but I think it's going to be fun. Open up everyone's stream at once and just destroy your ears. But it'll be a good time. That is 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. So cross my fingers for Microsoft to deliver.
It's gonna be good.
Discord question over there.
We're good on Discord questions.
Okay, cool. Let me go through.
Can I add one more thing to the Microsoft stuff?
Go for it. I'm gonna pull up
I think that it's I think it's gonna be good too, just because everything's been kind of lackluster, so it's gonna bolster it up more, you know. So it's gonna be like, oh snap, like this is. Did y'all see that Devolver show?
I love that. That was so funny.
They spent all that damn time for like 2 games, man.
Well, I actually loved the trailer for Baby Steps so much I showed it to like 10 of my friends.
Well, the one game people are pretty excited for from Suda and
Shadow of the
Mikami. Yeah, people were happy about it. I mean, that is it's like a cult classic, I guess, kind of game. When it came out, it at least was. It was good. I mean, it didn't get destroyed in ratings like we see with some of the other Suda games.
It's a bit crusty. It's a bit crusty, but I mean, it still holds. It holds up okay enough. I played through the whole game, but after I played through it, I was like, okay,
I'm good.
I was like, I'm good. I didn't play it again, or I'm like, I'm good. I don't need a sequel or anything. Just it's fine where it is.
Atomic says, I just got an Apple Vision Pro and this new Kojima game for it is sick. Wait, I think I've just been working for DoorDash and wearing scuba goggles. Mm-hmm. That Apple Vision, man. I would like to try it, but I would not like to pay $3,500 to do so.
Top line, you've already paid for it.
I have not. I would like to try it, but that's kind of where it ends.
Top line, you gifted Pokemon 2 of them. You told me. You DM'd me that. What you talking about, man?
If I was at WWDC, I would have definitely tried it, but I don't know. I'm not going to the Apple Store probably to try because that seems like that'd be kind of strange to try out. I don't know. I assume they're going to have it at Apple stores. That'll be interesting to see how that works.
Man, I don't know what it is about that. It looks absolutely so positively unappealing. Like if I got one for free, I'd probably never use it. And
really? Yeah. I'd play around with it, see what it's about. Zbat says, so is Nate going for good? One too many sound bites. Nate will be back. We got plans for him. He'll be back.
Nate doesn't know about the soundboard. We got to blast him.
He doesn't. Geeky Gaming Family says, as an Xbox fan, if this show is a dud, I'm done with the platform. I'm tired of always waiting for next year to have good games. My patience is dry. I see that
pinning me to the wall using his lips.
That's the best one. I love that one.
I see that sentiment come up a lot too with Xbox. They do wait for E3 a lot. So like I said, I think this is their year. Nerd says, other than Nintendo World NYC store, what would be the best thing for a gamer to visit in Manhattan? Heading there this week from Canada. Oh, I don't know. I'm not very familiar with New York.
Some store there.
I've heard that they have some famous barcades. Like they have some famous arcades and barcades. I'm going to New York in October, and that's what I'm looking out for.
There's something to ask Bob Wolf.
Ask
him on Twitter. I feel like there are a lot of like retro and game stores over there more independently run. So those would be the ones to check out probably. Liam says, I think Nintendo will still be physical by 2028. Well, it's 5 years from now, so who knows what game's going to look like in 5 years, but I feel like they will. I think next generation, they'll still be physical, and that will run through 2028. So there you go. Let's see. Hitman says, OJ, where's Black Keely? Hashtag hold the line.
I don't know. I'll do so. I obviously always do that at least once a year at the end of the year, the Spawncast.
Oh yeah, the award show.
The award show. So you'll get it at least once a year. I might do some other stuff if I feel maybe by the Game Awards, maybe I'll do something else.
There you go.
Yeah, Black Keely, he comes around. You can't force it, otherwise it's not very funny. So, but he'll be back this year for the Game Awards show. Don't worry, everybody will be getting some awesome awards.
Did I think Black Keely gave me the prestigious May Have an Unknown STD award, right?
Yes, you did get that. You and Sean shared that one.
We shared.
That was that was
shared the STDs as well. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, sharing is caring.
Jono says, good evening, gentlemen. Good to see you all. OJ, great job with the pre-show. Twisted Metal 2 is in my top 5 because of nostalgia, but they are going to find a way to ruin the show. Hope I'm wrong, trying to fit in TMG, but not sure it'll happen. Take care. Shout out to Jono. The 16-bit retro says, another Hyrule Warriors game based on Tears of the Kingdom. Could see that, I guess. I feel like we had Age of Calamity to try to fill out some story. So we'll see. Walls Jericho says, am I the only one that was let down by the original Final Fantasy VII? At the time, I felt like such a step backwards from the masterpieces that were 6 and CT.
You know, I've never heard anybody say that. At the time that it came out, you wouldn't say that because the graphics.
Yeah, going from Chrono Trigger and 6 to that, you're right.
Nobody said, oh man, this is a step. Maybe if you dig into the gameplay a little bit, some of the mechanics, But at the time, nobody would have said that it's a step back because it was such a step forward visually and also with some of the gameplay mechanics. I mean, some of the stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you go back hindsight, but not.
The cutscenes were so basic looking now, but back then we were like, oh my gosh, it's never going to look any better than this.
Nobody said that there was a step back to anything. It was like, this is next gen.
Yeah.
I think the weirdest thing, do y'all remember that because Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8 came out so close to each other, I remember some people bought 8 and then everybody was talking up 7, and I knew some people that went from 8 to 7 and they hated 7 because it didn't have junction and draw. They're like, they thought it was too basic, that you just had materia and stuff, which is always weird to me.
Yeah, like I said, that's why you can go back maybe hindsight and say, yeah, this was not so good, especially if you compare it to like Final Fantasy 9, you know, like how good that game is and like the mechanics and systems. But at the time, like if you played it in 97, nobody said this is a step back.
MTS says, never played Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy 7. Should I start with the remake or Crisis Core? Not interested in playing the PS1 game. I would suggest you start with Crisis Core.
Crisis Core is good. The remake is good. And also, I mean, you guys can definitely back me up on this. The version the ports they did that are on Switch and Xbox and PlayStation of the PS1 version have cheat codes that let you speed up time, have infinite limit break, get more XP. They are great. If you just want to breeze through it for the story, I think the story and side quests have aged remarkably well.
Yeah, I see this though a lot where the visuals are just very unappealing to a lot of people now from what I've seen. But yes, I do think the story, if you can in a perfect world play the PS1 game or version of it, even a port to any of the systems, Crisis Core, and then go to the remake, I think that's the best path. And I think you got a lot out of remake from a lot of stuff they do. Definitely almost requires you to play obviously on the PS1 and then also Crisis Core. So the ending will hit a lot harder if you played Crisis Core. This is from Sam says, my theory for this new timeline in 7. Okay. That era that somehow the villain and Sephiroth was trying to put the timeline back to normal. There's a twist in there somewhere that we're going to hit with a twist. I already know it. So
well, the weirdest part,
twist, yeah.
The developers have confirmed that there's 4 separate Sephiroths. And so I think that's the part that's going to be really weird about this, is that some of the Sephiroths are purely in Cloud's imagination. Some of the Sephiroths are real. One of the Sephiroths only exists in the future and is communicating to us. So it's Kingdom Hearts.
I wonder if there's ever been a time where they've been in the writer's room and just started to panic, like because they don't even know what's going on. That has to have been a thing. Burn says, I'm hyped for Rebirth. Just got into the franchise this year. So cool that they're giving us 2 4K Blu-rays. Between this and Persona 3, 24 is packed. Yeah, 2023 is looking good right now. 2024 is setting up nicely. Looking good. Micah says, do you think Nintendo will ever make a more mature Zelda game? If not, do you wish they would? Like mature rated? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to push that boundary.
There's no point.
They try hard to get E10 plus. Like Team, they've had to do a few times, but
there's no point because they want people to buy the game, and it's just it'd be forced. It's not gonna, like that's not what their developers do. It'd be like Shadow with the gun. You know what I'm saying? It'd be something like that. It'd be corny. In my opinion, it'd be corny because their developers don't think that way. In order
selling
to make
selling a mature rated game is harder to, especially like it would definitely be harder, I think, for Legend of Zelda to do that.
But I just think it would just be forced because that's not how Zelda is. You know, Zelda is just not that type of game. You know,
it was a little weird when it got that teen rating back in the Twilight Princess.
Yeah, but even I don't consider that.
Was a little weird when I saw it. I was like, oh
yeah, but even I don't consider that like mature. It's just as like the graphics were a bit, I guess, darker or not. But I don't really. I mean, there's some mature themes in Zelda. Obviously, there is, but it's never going to be like, you know.
Oh, coming from Wind Waker, though, that looked like it was God of War, basically, in terms of like the violent stuff. Like, oh my gosh, look at this compared to that cartoony game.
They're gonna do what sells especially after Wind Waker. They're gonna do what sells because Wind Waker didn't live up to sales expectations. So whatever's selling, they're gonna do. Tears of the Kingdom is selling incredible, so they're gonna go more in that line.
Wall says, do you think Diablo will sell wings as a back piece?
I mean, they have cosmetics, right?
They're selling everything. Man, you look at that cosmetic store; it's a little crazy. I haven't looked at it like
wings
in game, but I don't know. The prices in there are crazy.
It's terrible. Yeah. I mean, I can look at it right now. Yeah. There are costumes that cost $25. The game is $70. Let's see here. Yeah. Multiple outfits cost $25 and look like absolute shit. And more than that, what sucks about this is they do that thing I hate, which is where you can't just buy it. You buy coins and then buy it. I always hate that stupid. Buy our currency.
Alme2 says, I've heard talk about Valve possibly making a new IP with this whole Steam Deck thing, but do you all think Valve may finally show up with something soon?
No.
Yeah. The Neon, what's it called?
The what?
There's the leaked game. Yeah, some guy leaked the new Valve game.
I'd like to see them attempt Half-Life 3, but that'll never happen.
There's a lot of leaks about this new game, and it actually sounds great. It is a hero shooter in like a Minecraft world where you're in this really big map and there's a train you can ride around. There's a class that's like a commander. There's like a class that can fly. There's like a class that's like the sniper. So it sounds super asymmetrical, but apparently it's super great. And apparently they're already doing external testing. People are like fans, Valve people, or people outside of Valve are currently testing and playing it. So it sounds like we're going to see it and probably be playing it this year.
Ruffles says, speaking of Tears of the Kingdom, based on that ending, I can easily see it getting story DLC. I fell in love with this world and hope to see more of its story. Sean, do you have comments on it? All the different forms and everything, all the stuff happening over there.
What do you mean all the different forms? John just spoiled it.
All the different forms. You got talk about that, Sean.
I was spoiling the game. It's terrible.
I'll show you a still. We're gonna play a game. I'm gonna show you still, and you're gonna tell me if it's from the trailer or from my copy of the game at the end.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
Spoiler, they're all from the trailer. Wyatt says, do you guys think we will get to the point where games are only distributed as part of a subscription streaming and not bought individually at all?
Yes.
Oh, so we don't have any a la carte. Ooh, I don't know. That'd be weird. I feel like, I don't know, that means that everyone would have bought into that subscription future then, like everyone.
I think there's going to be a time where it's going to be 80%. I legitimately think we're going to hit that point.
I think we'd have to get to the point where there's no console or system anymore. Like everything would be through cloud then. I think that is what would push everyone to that point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then it'd be the big race for subscriptions. Who can get to 300 or 400 million subscribers first. Newson says, can't wait to play Persona 3 Remake on Game Pass. Smoke says, I find it interesting that Square says you don't need to play Remake Part 1 to enjoy Rebirth. I'd feel weird if I played Part 2 and not play Part 1. Yeah, that'd be weird. I don't know. That seems strange.
The assumption I've seen people make is how when you turn on God of War Ragnarok, it says, would you like to see like a super long movie explaining God of War 2018? That's got to be what it is. But in my opinion, that's not enough. Like, I don't know how the hell you're supposed to go from Part 2 without Part 1.
Rodrigo says the best joystick for fighting games will always be the SNES controller. The D-pad is still unbeatable. It is a very good D-pad. Surgical says, what is scary to you, the digital future or the games as a service future?
Games as a service.
Games as a service.
Yeah, because digital, you can still get single player games and play all that. Yeah. When you got to do battle pass, you got to keep track of 8 different battle passes at once. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And Zoob says, but Corgi's cozy hike is dog, not cat, Sean.
I no cozy. It says cozy in the title.
Gosh. These cozy games, dude.
I hate them.
It's such a weird buzzword.
Tijo says, I think we'll see some Persona stuff. Hopefully Sega doesn't get too so excited that they just casually upload the trailers. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Did you see there's some marketing listing? It looks like they instant fired that guy.
Oh, no, really? Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Search Persona marketing on Twitter and you'll see there's like, hey, for no reason whatsoever, we suddenly have an open position.
Ruffle says, I'm all for a Final Fantasy X remake if they promise to make Final Fantasy X-2 non-canon. That game felt like a fanfic crossover with Charlie's Angels and Final Fantasy. Let's see. You like X-2, Max?
I don't hate it as much as other people, and I think the older I get, the more I appreciate what they were trying to do. But yeah, it's weird.
Tyler asks, who from Spawncast is going to be at TMG in a couple weeks? I will be there. Max will be there. Evan will probably be there.
I might.
Okay, Sean might be there. Man, people are unsure on Sean. Maybe we just need to keep that until a surprise for the panel, and then Sean just like comes out of the crowd or something.
There's no way Sean shows up at this convention and doesn't immediately just like kick in the doors like I'm fucking here. Like,
well, Friday, the panel's Friday, so Sean might be able to show up as the panel. Yeah, but he might come in a few hours before or something. All of a sudden he's on the panel. So I don't know. We got to get him out there. It's not that far from Sean. OJ, there's a lot more logistics in getting OJ there. So we're
this year, I'm going to try to make it, but the problem is just because of some of the other work that I do when it comes to editing. Like that's the issue. Last year I didn't have as much. This year I have a lot more. Like I have a lot more like on-site local stuff that I do this year. So that'd be the only issue. Like if I can get the time free, then absolutely I will. I'll be able to come. I can catch a last second plane flight out there. But for right now, it's looking like I'm gonna have some stuff that I got to do on that weekend. But we'll see.
There you go. Sean, you'll have to fill in. There you go. Get you on the panel.
I'll try though. Seriously, like I'm legit trying to move things around, but this is a pretty big client, so
me and OJ roomed last year and it was fun as hell.
Yeah, it was cool. It was awesome. It was fun.
We do have another mystery guest though for the panel that will be revealed when the panel gets going at Too Many Games. So
I know who it is, and you know what? It's a good ass guest.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good time.
Someone who's been on the podcast actually before, a couple times. So.
Somebody go to the Spawncast chat and tell me.
It'll be fun. Zohar says, question, do you think Xbox Series X and S will see a price drop, or will they announce Killer Instinct 2? Well, Killer Instinct would be pretty big. That would be a big one for them to announce. I don't know. They've been trying to find someone to make that. I don't think they're going to do a price drop, though. If anything, they'll just do package deals for Series S and Game Pass. Jesse says, could COD boycott bring down value of Activision?
I don't think so.
If they make less money, sure, it'll bring down the value. Yo Peep says Forza Online single player DRM. Good luck, RGT.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Hey, we'll find out soon, right? I just assume a lot of these. I mean, if it's Game Pass, you just assume you have to be online anyway.
Yeah.
Dewan Davis.
Here we go.
To challenge me. Okay. What's up? Yeah, what's up, OJ? I got a crusher. Do you think Pay another she might be a Mortal Kombat one? Maybe yes or no?
Could be. You know how Pay is, though.
Yeah.
Especially since it's capitalized, it's very obviously a name.
Okay, she might be a Mortal Kombat one.
I think that person's like making AI gibberish.
Do you think Pay another? Okay, so there's a character that has moved to the word Pay.
I think the best word of that is I got a crusher. That's such a great way to say that. I'm going to steal that.
Like Pay, like who's the character?
Do you think Pay another she might be a Mortal Kombat one?
Okay, so he's talking about a character.
Pay
so
another.
Character, yeah, which
Shiva?
Shiva. Oh, will Shiva be in there?
Yeah, okay. So we saw Goro.
Yeah, you gotta have Shiva in there, right?
Yeah, I think Shiva's in there. I think Shiva's in there as a
cameo.
One of the cameo fighters.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. I'm going with that, Mr. Davis. Shiva, I think, is in. Uncharted Wolf says Dragon's Dogma 2 has been looking amazing so far. Do y'all think it's worth getting back and playing the original Dragon's Dogma? I do, but I also think they need to do a patch for it on Xbox and PlayStation and push it to 60 frames. Yes. Trev says, do you think... Yeah. Oh, we just did that one. Why did it show twice? That's fine. I will go over to Streamlabs, though, to double check everything as we do outros and stuff. There's a spot at... Casual Noob says there's a spot at Atlas to spoil stuff. Nimbus says, how many pizzas did you order, RGT?
It's 4, actually.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
just for tonight. Damn.
No. For the Domino's thing, I ordered 2. I shot the ad, and then I had to redo something in the ad, so they gave me more gift cards. So I had to get 2 more the next day.
Did you vomit on the pizza?
No. It was cool. I was wearing. Funny enough, it was my hat because I couldn't have any other outside logos on it. And if you look at the ad, when
I saw the blurred rug.
Yeah,
I was
like, I'm not reshooting this, so I had to get rid of my hat. So I put my hat on backwards and I blurred the rug that said Nick's on it.
That's so funny.
They saw Nick's. They're like,
I just saw that blur and I was like, I've been there.
Mr. Davis, back for round 2, says, I'll make to say this. Do you think Bayonetta may be in Mortal Kombat? Yes or no? I did understand that one. And
No.
probably not. That would be cool though. That'd be cool if they did a crossover there,
cool.
Bayonetta and Mortal Kombat. That'd be fun. It kind of fits too. I don't know.
It fits, but there's just Sega's not gonna allow.
I like the creativity of it, Mr. Davis. Keep that up. That's good. That's good stuff.
Good. Sega's like, no.
Tyler says, pretty sure I know who surprise guest is, as I talk to them regularly on Twitter and found out they are finally going. I won't spoil though.
Oh my god.
Let me go around here. Let's start with Dreamcast Guy. Where can everyone find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast Guy. Had a bunch of big reviews lately. Did a big review for Street Fighter 6 and a big review for Diablo 4. So if you haven't watched those, watch those. I'm going to be streaming the Xbox Showcase. And apparently 99% chance we're getting the Final Fantasy 16 demo tomorrow. So I'm definitely going to be doing a video about that.
Yeah, it's dropping tomorrow night. So that'll be fun. Let's see. OJ, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, right here on YouTube, Player Essence. I'll be streaming the show, so you can check it out. And I usually stream pretty much daily, almost daily. So if you're into streams, talk about RPGs, Nintendo stuff. I did a big video on Xenoblade X and the future for Monolith Soft, and also some other stuff when it comes to Prince of Persia and other stuff like that. So if you're into RPGs and Nintendo, yeah, check out the channel, Player Essence. Thank you for having me on, John. And I also run the Spawncast pre-show, so if you guys want to hang out before this show starts, you can always hang out Saturdays. I think right around, I usually start like around 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, the Spawncast is technically like
5 hours.
5 hours long or something.
Yeah.
It goes pre-show, this, and then after show with RGT that gets well, it's definitely on after 11. We'll say that.
I watch so many of your streams, by the way. I lurk in your streams all the time, OJ, whenever I'm just like when I'm grinding in Diablo. I just wanted to send you, I know I always send you love, man, but you're just the best at just keeping a 5-hour conversation going. I don't know how you do it.
It's because people piss me off, so I start ranting on stuff.
I like when someone will just be like say something that I feel like is innocuous, but like, why do you think this game's sold bad? You're like, what are the statistics on that? Huh? Show me this. Just like, well, what's happening, OJ?
It's funny. I was nicer today. I was nicer today, guys. I didn't go off as much. I'm being nicer.
Let me look at the Streamlabs real quick. Ricky says Silk Song is shadow dropped on the showcase. How will it affect your game's playing order in June? Will you drop whatever you're playing to play Silk Song?
No.
They can't do that to us. Don't. Well, I mean, they could. It'd be cool, but just
I'll be honest. I will make some time no matter what.
Yeah.
If Silk Song just drops, I'll make some specific time to play the game.
I feel like that game's gonna be really big too, man.
Yeah, I will.
Jen says, as a new content creator, how much should I be considering algorithm as obsession to arrows pointing up or down inevitable? Yeah, you'll check it a lot, especially when you're starting out. But I just make videos you like and see what happens. To be honest,
that's the biggest thing. All of us can definitely preach. The biggest thing is make a video that you would want to watch. Like I actually originally blew up just talking a lot about Resident Evil and Final Fantasy like fan theories. And you know what? There's an audience for that. You know, make the content that you enjoy instead of just being like, I'll talk about Call of Duty.
Be surprised what people like to watch all kinds of stuff on YouTube. There's people on YouTube who will like cut grass, and it's so interesting to people to watch. So
that video, yes, I watched that guy making the viral mowing lawns videos. They're so good,
all over the place. Yeah, you'd be shocked at what people enjoy watching. So, and then Sean says, "How do you feel about Persona 3 Reload possibly not including content from Portable or FES? I'm worried that the girl main character won't be an option."
That better be, damn it.
I think we'll see. Hey, we'll see on tomorrow. We'll get a little bit more information. But
your simp ass down.
I think people are going to be. I think people are going to be happy with what they see from these games as well. So I think it'll be fun. Evan, where can I find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Kimmerix Project. If you're into tabletop games, Games Workshop is working on releasing 10th edition. That's going to be happening really soon. And we talked about the rules in a recent video. Just going to keep doing that. Keep chugging along. It'll be fun.
Sean, what's going on over there? You doing after show and all that?
Yeah, go watch my videos. I'll be on John's stream tomorrow for this Xbox thing, and then I'll make a video. The show is already up, so go watch it. Here, I'll drop a link.
After show is up?
Yeah, we've been up.
He's just been live this whole time.
Let's just start doing that, restreaming.
Hey, what up?
Restreaming the show.
It doesn't even it just keeps going, doesn't break or nothing.
It's the 5 hour, yeah.
It's continuous.
It's the podcast that never ends.
There
It
you
goes
go.
on and on.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Should be a lot of fun this week, and we'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time to break it all down. And we'll see you guys then.